Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Dungeons and Dragons Crusaders. Before we start, Dev has some stuff he wants to show us.
I do. Let me just center on the thing. Okay. There's a fella, he's given me permission to show these now. He said he wanted to... We've had the link for a few weeks, but he said he wanted to wait till they were done. But I have these 4 models. I'll play Arches first. He's apparently making 3D models for some kind of animation project, and it's of our 4 characters. So that's Arch. Looks pretty good.
Does Arch have a bow? Oh, yeah, he does have a bow, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like a longbow.
I'll play Uzulu's next. It's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's not bad. I like it's kind of bulky, which is a style I can approve of. They look very similar to the like hero model maker you can do for Dungeons and Dragons characters.
Yeah.
We can't use them somehow.
We've got
Oh
V.
my god, that is awesome.
Including the demon book with the tentacles coming out.
I love the demon book, yeah.
And I think mine's probably the funniest of all. I think it's pretty good.
It looks awesome.
But by the way, Saga, why were there no tentacles in the book now that Devil mentions it?
I think everyone made you close it before the tentacles came out.
Yes.
Should have been the tentacle should have been made come out more faster. It would have been epic.
But I think he's using those to do some kind of 3D animation project. Maybe it's going to be related to I assume it's going to be related to our campaigns. And I think he also wants to send us physical models of them when he's done.
Oh, wow.
It looks like Ritualist has a competitor.
Yeah, that's awesome though, dude. His name is Bloody Limming, so thank you.
Sargon, it means you can actually sell these now. Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
You can sell the miniatures.
I guess. I hadn't given it any thoughts. But right, so as I recall last time, you spent quite a lot of time in the refugee camp. You sold the bear cub to Crow.
Fortunately.
Yeah, V managed to convert 80 people.
Wasn't it 90?
No.
Okay.
And you've been marching back towards Penderley. Am I missing anything there?
No, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Marching towards Pedley with a big entourage.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
There was a bunch of our stuff got stolen off the cart.
It's true.
Yeah, but then we bought new supplies. Yeah.
Yeah, a fight might have broken out over the key and chest that I gave the crowd.
Possibly.
And the guards were happy, and they were cheering because we managed to take half of the refugees, or well, a third.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Right. So you're traveling back to Pendley. You're virtually there, and Fenric comes up to you, V, and says, "My prophet, I've been speaking with the refugees that we have here, and sorry, not the refugees, the faithful that we have here, and it seems that 14 of them are experienced fighting men."
That is excellent. I ask Arch over, and before I do that, I ask him, please don't call me prophet. I'm too humble for that title.
He just bows his head and puts his hands together and says, "Yes, O prophet."
Emmerich, you can call me that once we reach the Holy Land. Until then, I am Brother V. Instruct the other men to do the same.
I will, O prophet.
Emmerich.
Right. Well, at least we'll try to save the 14 useful ones. I'd like to take those aside, the 14 experienced ones, and can I train them in any way? Is there a role for that?
Well, the 14 that claim to be experienced.
Yeah, Fenric, I trust him. He used to be a guard, so he probably is able to.
Oh yeah, he's well trustworthy. Sorry.
I trust him because he didn't have to join us. Like, he was like, goddamn refugees, while he had the whip around his neck.
And then you rolled a 20, and here he is.
Yeah, the dude was being choked out and he gave sass, but the moment he saw V speak, he's like, well, time to bend over.
I think it was the spells, but yeah.
Right, so I think these 14 men should each get 5 men each and train them as well, so that the training goes faster.
Jesus Christ, all right, hang on.
They're experienced at fighting, not at training.
Yeah.
No, but they should spar, with, like daily sparring with 5 other dudes, so that they can gain a little bit more experience.
Someone's going to lose their arm.
And obviously,
let's not. That sounds like a very, very good way to get some of them dead.
Well, my lord, you're experienced when it comes to military affairs. So, what do you reckon we do?
I asked if there was any way I could try and train them myself.
Yeah, hang on. I'm just looking, see what I can find.
Animal handling.
What skill would you think of using to do that, Arch?
I haven't the fucking faintest.
No, me either. Just have a look at your skills quickly while I look this up.
I've got a ritual to start already.
Oh god.
Animal handling.
Animal handling. What about survival?
Holy war we go. Kill
Sargon?
some Moors and fuck some whores.
What about survival?
Survival doesn't sound reasonable.
I think your best bet is performance, and maybe combine it with whatever score is relevant to combat.
Yeah, I think performance is the best bet as well.
I'd say... I mean, I'd add in history as general knowledge of tactics and combat.
You can't just use the history degree for everything, Arch.
There's nothing in here though that speaks to general knowledge of combat. Investigation, nature, perception.
No, that's going to be implied, I think, in your performance. You'll be performing to show people how to, conduct themselves.
I think I might have found something about it. Hold on.
Okay, go
on. Okay. Training is considered a downtime activity.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to spend 8 hours throughout the day doing it. And training, class specific.
Can you send me a link to whatever you're reading? Put
Sure.
it in the D&D thing on
the Discord?
Discord, yeah.
Yep. All right. It's a list of downtime activities and trainings on there. There it is.
The European Union D&D 5th edition campaign. What?
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck this is.
European propaganda.
It says class-specific training is mandatory. Completed between adventures. It depends on their level, and it costs money, it seems.
Right, okay. How much? Right.
2 gold a day.
Oof.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Or there's also other training. So there's like generic training that's not class-specific. I assume these NPCs don't have a class, so...
Yeah.
Other training can be completed between adventures.
No, they have to have a class, so surely.
Yeah. 1 downtime day training costs 1 GP for a character without a class. Yeah.
Yeah, but they have to have a class.
Do they?
Don't they? I mean, they're supposed to be experienced fighters. They must have...
The experienced fighters have a class. But
Okay.
the other ones have the class of peasant.
Yeah, because class is just a broad D&D bullshit term for what they're good at.
So, lads, how many of you are wizards?
Nobody raises their hand.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't actually saying it.
What classes are they?
Peasants.
What are the experienced fighters? You said they had a class.
Oh, they're fighters, obviously.
Okay.
Okay, what would the training do?
Level them up, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm quite happy with this, the list.
But here's another question, Sargon. If we take them adventuring and we're fighting shit, will they level up?
Maybe. It's a bit of a dangerous way to train them up, though.
That is true.
Well, for us so far.
It's true.
Somehow.
Something in the handbook about it too. I'm going to flip to the right page.
Training.
Yeah. They can learn proficiencies from training.
Yeah, it's... Well, this is a pretty reasonable one. So yeah, you can pay to train them if you want.
Who are we paying? Or who are they paying, rather?
Wow, it's just money you have to spend on just equipment and food and I don't know, things you need to rent, I guess. I don't know. It costs money.
Well, what are we going to gain? Because this is stuff that we were supposed to be doing when we leveled up.
Sorry, what?
It must be completed between adventures for each level your character has increased. They need to complete X days of training, see blah, blah, blah. So this is something that we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
What
This
will
is
it benefit our peasants? Our fighters?
What if we land a proficient trainer from, let's say, King Emmerich? Prince Emmerich.
Oh, we can already train them, that's not the problem. It's just what will training them gain us?
Well, level them up.
Okay. What kind of ratio? Like, how long would we train them to level 2, I guess?
Well, it's,
I guess the way you can do it is like design a fixed XP for 8 hours of training, and then you can...
Desired level squared equals days taken.
Yeah, but that's the... We were supposed to be doing this after we leveled up to gain our new stuff. But it doesn't actually have anything to do with gaining XP, I believe.
I think that's just like for their campaign because they added some rules to it. I found some other rule sets too.
Right, okay, go on.
Yeah. This guy compiled a list of official 5th edition downtime activities, including training. So I'll dump that here. It seems a bit more strict, though. Training. Become proficient with a new language or set of tools. 250 days, 250 gold.
I
Jesus.
Not what we're looking after either.
Jesus.
You
can practice.
Okay. I think that a month of training, 8 hours a day, is reasonable to expect a level out of an NPC for a gold piece a day.
Let's not sink a month into that, though, lads.
Let's not.
All right.
Well, I assume if we get someone else to do it, like if we get a weapons master or someone like that to do the training, that's fine.
Do you think you can afford that?
Yeah, he's going to cost a lot more. Not
no,
less.
but as a favor, for instance, like if you get Prince Emmerich to lend his quartermaster or something like that, or to get these people to train with his people.
Does Prince Emmerich have a quartermaster?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Does he?
Oh, it's Prince Emmerich. He must have a quartermaster.
You could always shit away your favor with the Baron.
What makes you think that Prince Emmerich's quartermasters, and why would you want a quartermaster anyway? You want a weapons master. But do you not think that these people have jobs?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they're already training soldiers the way I see it, and it's just
exactly.
14. Yeah, it's just listen. If you can ask for a favor and he agrees, it's 14 extra men. It's not that many.
Well,
it's like, okay, well, these guys, can they train with your soldiers, please?
And I saw that it's 14 extra noblets that they have to train from basics.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in this kind of era, people who were soldiers in later life would be trained from childhood, and it would be very difficult to substitute that from adulthood.
Well, they're already
not necessarily.
They're already trained, as I understand. Like,
how does military function? This was there's a levy system, professional military, feudalism.
Well, it depends who it is and where you are.
All of the above.
What about right here and right now?
Well, it depends who you are. I mean, like
history roll.
For example, like Penderley is going to have a selection of men-at-arms, which are going to be professionals, and then in the time of war, they're going to raise levies from amongst the various villages around the area. You'll probably get city-states that don't have like permanent standing armies, but just have levy from the citizenry themselves.
All right. We had, what was it, 200 odd in the army chest, as it was.
2000,
yeah.
2,000?
Oh,
and
wait.
it only costs us 1 gold a day per man?
Yeah.
From level 1, yeah.
Yeah, that's entirely... No, level 1. Then.
So 30 gold per day to level them up.
We'll go for... I'm going to write this down, actually.
30 gold in total to level them up. 1 month.
Okay.
So 1 gold piece per level for 1 month. So if you're level 2, if your NPC is level 2, and you want to get them to level 3, then you've got to spend 2 gold pieces per day for a month. In fact, maybe it should be 1 month per level as well. So it takes longer.
Right? Okay, I'm confused because first we had 1 gold piece, now we have 2 to level 3?
It's probably going up with each level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, also on the list of downtime activities, it says get a job. You can maintain a modest lifestyle, 1 GP a day, and the money you earn at your job pays for food, drink, clothing, rent.
Enslave your followers, V.
They're getting free food from me, so it's not slavery.
You know, making them
That's
get a
even
job
more
would
money.
actually be-
And it is a feudal society,
Very good.
so they're already slaves
Hold
or
on.
peasants.
Did anyone hear that? They're getting food from me, so it's not slavery. Slaves did get food.
That was great, V.
It's called welfare. You know. You
Oh, yeah, it's not slavery, it's welfare. Also, vote Democrat.
All the ingredients of slavery, just with a different name.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, Arch. To be clear, for example, to level up a level 1 person, it'll take 1 month of 1 gold piece per day to get them to level 2. To get a level 2 person to level 3, it will take 2 months of 2 gold pieces per person.
Okay, so it doubles every time.
Well, it's just your level, but yeah. It's the
Wow,
equivalent
this
of
is
level.
this might be quicker than the way we've been leveling.
It's only available for NPCs. I hate to say.
No, undoubtedly, we'll sink that. 420 gold to get all of our 14 guys up a level. That's, yeah.
14? Just the experience ones, then?
Assuming they're a level 1, yeah.
I thought you wanted to spar them with the others to try to train more people up to be useful.
Yeah, that was V's idea.
Right. Fair enough. So there's some dissent among the ranks. Trouble in paradise.
What?
I don't know.
Well, you two have a different opinion. That's what I'm saying. I'm not resolving it.
Never mind. Moving swiftly forwards. No, I'd just say we definitely do that. 420 gold to level up the 14 fighters seems like a steal to me.
I agree.
Okay, well, maybe you should arrive home before you start doing any of that.
Well, Frederick came up and sparked the discussion, so you know.
Well, yeah, he was just letting you know that there appear to be fighting men within the converts that you have. He
Okay.
thought it'd be useful for you to know.
So what do we do with the other guys? The
Well,
non.
send them to get jobs, because that also sounds like something very useful to make them do.
Well, I also found this PDF. I'll drop that. You can have them build a stronghold.
We need land to do that.
Yeah.
Let's get some land.
It's not cheap, is it?
No, it's not, but we can have a castle, guys.
You could.
You know, we'll just take the 14. Might as well do it. We're not going to do this piecemeal. Mark off 420 gold for the from the army funds.
Sure. Let me just pull it up here.
There's a lot of land in the Holy Land, I hear.
The
Yes.
Holy Land V. Here, hold
It's
on a
all
second.
for the taking.
Wait a minute. There we go. Done. There it is. Oh wait, this PDF also says you can gamble,
I don't like this.
and if you roll well, you can have a bunch of winnings from gambling.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
That is frowned in the eyes of the prophet. No gambling in my presence, please.
What if we use the money to build a temple?
It is sinful.
Heathen money.
Building a temple isn't sinful.
No, but building a temple with gambling money is.
Wow, now we're starting to get into philosophical questions. Right. So, are you continuing on to Pendley?
Yes.
Yes. We'll start training them already, because why not?
Can I make a roll to
Walking all
convince?
day, every day?
Can I make a roll to convince Fenric not to call me the prophet anymore and instruct other people to do so?
You can.
Little shit's gonna walk and swing swords at the same time. Multitask.
Yeah, you say it and he says, "Oh yes, brother V."
Brother V is excellent. Please instruct the other people. I'll tell him I don't have an official position in the church yet, and until that happens, I'm Brother V.
Okay.
Have all the converts enjoyed my cooking?
Yes, they look like they're starting to put on a bit of weight.
I can say, I just realized I can tell him to call Uzulu the prophet. he wanted to be called the prophet. He even healed one of them.
But yeah,
they might be extrapolating a bit too much there, V.
They're looking a lot less gaunt than they were when you first found them. So well done. You're doing a good job.
There's also an option here to spread rumors. We could spread rumors of our lovely company where everybody gets good food prepared by an overweight black cook slave.
Let's see where we can house them first, and then we can think about expanding.
Right, you arrive back at the Crusader Camp, which is, as you come over like the brow of a hill, you see it just sprawling out across the fields and around the outside of Pendley. It's definitely, you've obviously not noticed other lords arriving with their various retinues, but like tens of thousands of fires are burning. There must be something like 100,000 men here. And no one notices as you come in with 80 peasants. No one cares. No one pays any attention. It's remarkably diverse. This crusade.
I asked Frederick, do you know where the thieves are, Frederick?
What?
The thieves, the people who rob others. Do you know where they are?
He says, no, my lord.
I point to the market over there, Frederick. Over there.
That's where they sell the holy weaponry.
He just nods and lowers his gaze.
Does the camp look bigger than when we left?
Yes, that's what I was telling you.
Right. Okay.
Yes, it looks significantly bigger. But yeah, so no one pays any attention to. Everyone's going about their various business. And it's not just like men in armor either. There's loads of women, loads of children, loads of regular peasants, and just people wandering around. Carrying burdens, doing all chores. Just doing things that have to be done.
Anyone recognizing us as the heroes of slaying the demon? Because that would boost the morale of the people with us.
No one's paying you any particular mind.
Fucking short-minded peasantry.
Well, everyone's got stuff to do.
Them.
All right, let's go to Prince
We'll
Emmerich.
pitch a tent first. It's late. We'll pitch a tent and be happy.
Pitch tent where?
I don't know. Negro slave. Figure out where.
At the outskirts, I guess.
Yeah, geez, we actually have a camp of our own now, don't we?
Wander back into the Inquisition camp, I guess. I don't know.
With our 80 people?
They won't care. They're fine. It's okay.
I guess we could report to the Inquisition. Or we could go to Prince Emmerich and report to him.
V needs Lebensraum.
Was already a bit too fucking small, so I don't know if they've got space.
This super chat, man. V needs Lebensraum for his people.
He literally does.
Ew.
But sorry, what are you doing?
It's up to Arch.
We just set up camp on the outskirts for today, shouldn't we? Because I doubt the Inquisition will just let us wander in with 80 dudes.
I could try to smooth talk them into it, but
Well, cast that spell on yourself first.
yeah, the one that gives me advantage to charisma.
You could, I guess.
Well, someone's gonna have to make a decision.
I'm just gonna sit in the bathtub. This is definitely not my fight.
be ready to organize a camp for now. Go to the Inquisition, see what they say. Worst case scenario, they'll throw you in jail.
We'll come break you up, V.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Right, so Arch, you're setting up a camp. Is that correct?
No, we're just waiting for now until V comes back.
Right.
Yeah, I'll assist Arch.
You'll assist me in waiting. Good job.
Yeah, good.
Well, your house
So
life.
glad you've come along, Dev.
I'll assist you in setting up the camp for our 80 guys.
Are you setting up a camp, Arch?
Never. I need to introduce you to the concepts of words.
Yes.
I make sounds and they mean things. When I say we're not setting up camp yet, we're waiting for V.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were setting it up as we wait, but okay. No, I guess we'll just hang out.
That's right, Dev. I think he's being slovenly as well. But okay, V, are you going down to see the Inquisition?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way through the camp. You go through the market. Eventually, you arrive at the gates of the Inquisition camp. The guard recognizes you and opens the gate.
I asked the guard, is the Inquisitor available for an audience?
The guard says, I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go to the Inquisitor's tent.
Okay,
Wait, before I do this, before I go into the camp, I will cast Enhance Ability on myself.
Oh, will you? Where? Actually, do it in the middle of the street?
I guess, where no one is looking. Like, I will go into a PV or something where you can take a shit. They probably have, like, public toilets or something.
Yeah, there's just a hole in the ground that you go and shit in.
Yeah, but there's usually, like, some sort of walls so that people don't see you shit in that hole in the ground. I will enter there where no one sees me and I will cast the
there's
spell.
not. What are you talking about? It's a
Well-
giant ditch that's full of shit.
Don't they have, like, an outhouse to protect people from the rain and prying eyes?
No,
Okay.
this is just a military camp.
Is there no, I don't know, bushes, something like where I used to
Why
do
don't
it
you
to
just
art?
go to your own fucking tent?
That is a good point. I will go to my own fucking tent.
As V returns, staring out at the not set camp and the fact that his tent is not set.
No, it's in the Inquisition camp. I guess the tent is always set.
We
Yeah,
still
but
have a tent there? Didn't we pack? Oh, never mind.
No, we
No,
didn't.
no, you still got it there.
We left in a hurry. I will cast Eagle Splendor. Target has an advantage on charisma checks.
Okay, did you put the thing in the
Yeah.
thing? Okay, I'm just looking for something.
Hold on, I need to deduct it. I forgot to do that though. Got one remaining.
So do we think this is the best way to handle this? Just V going in to negotiate? I mean, I know he's got the charisma thing, but has he also got his cult with him?
No.
Nope, they're with us. We're just hanging out.
I don't know what he's going to tell him.
Well,
got
you're
80
not there,
guys.
so you'll never know until he gets back.
I
V,
actually didn't say where I was, but
No,
I probably would have
exactly.
picked the outside the...
if you didn't say where you are where you were last seen.
Well, then I'm talking with Arch and Dev then.
Okay. Right, V, what are you doing?
Going to see the Inquisitor.
Okay, you go over to his tent. The guard says, "Can I help you?"
I would like to speak with the Inquisitor. Is he available?
The guard says, "Wait here." Goes in the tent. After a moment or two, he comes out and says, "Yes, the Inquisitor will see you now."
Okay. I work with the Inquisitor.
Okay. In there is Inquisitor Bright, and he turns to you and, with a sort of little smile, says, "How can I help you, my son?"
Your Holiness, I'm seeking wisdom. On our mission, in order to find a trainer for the bear that was starting to cause destruction around the camp, I have found my own brothers in faith, the ones from the same place I grew up.
How fortunate.
They were starving. They were going around doing evil things like banditry, stealing money from good people, and they were terrorizing a town.
And how did you stop them?
Hold on. I thought about what the prophet would suggest to do in such a thing, and I prayed for the prophet for help, and I started feeding them. Lord Arch took him in their retinue because Lord Arch is also from the same town, and they pledged loyalty to him. And now I have a band of 80 people following us around, wanting to go on the crusade and risk their life for the Holy Land.
Are they 80 refugees?
Yes, my lord.
How useful do you think that they'll be?
Well, it's not about usefulness. It's about the fact that they will stop committing sins and they will stop terrorizing the town.
He sort of rubs his double chin a bit and then just says, well, what do you need from me?
Well, I don't know how to interact with them so they don't think I'm some sort of messiah. I do not want that upon myself.
Well, using your magic around them?
I tried my best so they don't see how the food came around, but you know how people are. Rumors can be spread.
I think you better roll a persuasion check on that. Yeah, bluff or persuasion, like whatever
I think
I'm
deception,
lying,
actually.
Yeah, whatever the I'm lying through my asshole skill is, just use that. Deception, yeah.
I use persuasion.
And no, you've got to use deception. You're
Okay.
lying to.
It's still an advantage on it. Ooh.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
He looks dubious, but he lets it pass. He says, "Well, that's probably wise."
He's in a good mood today, V.
I was thinking maybe a man of the church should be able to proselytize. I was thinking to send them to Bishop Stavron, but you know how Bishop Stavron is. He might actually get them bad ideas in his head.
Yeah, Inquisitor Bright just rolls his eyes and says, "Good grief, don't give them to Bishop Stavron."
Jesus, sending them to the fucking communists.
Give them to Bishop Stavron now, V. Do
Fifth fucking column, that's what Dev is.
Run through all of this problem to feed them, and now you're handing them over to the fucking commies? That's cruel.
Inquisitor Bright, he just gets up from his chair and just walks over and says, "So what are you planning to do with your new flock?"
Well, they're not my new flock. They're Lord Arch's people. And we're planning on finding some land where we can set up camp until the crusade comes and we can move up.
And whose ship are these going to be transported on?
I think Prince Emmerich might be willing. It's up to Lord Arch to negotiate an allegiance to one of the more important lords.
I suppose it would be. But what if you can't get a ship?
That would be most unfortunate, but I have faith in the prophet that he will deliver a ways of transport for the people willing to risk their lives in his name.
Okay. So, what exactly do you want from me?
Some guidance, I suppose. I don't want to do anything that the Inquisition wouldn't be okay with it.
Well, I would make sure that they don't have any delusions about your status with the church.
I nod.
Your importance in the ecclesiastical hierarchy.
I made absolutely sure that they call me Brother V. I explained to them that I'm not a follower of the church. I'm not. I don't have. Sorry, my bad. me no speak English. Me no speak English.
It's okay. I'm just joking. I know you didn't mean to say
Yeah,
that.
I don't have a high-ranking position within the church or any authority. I'm just a man willing to sacrifice his life for the glory of God.
Okay. Inquisitor Bright taps his double chins again and says, "Take me to your flock."
Very well, Inquisitor.
Okay. Right, you walk out and you walk back to Arch and the rest. Arch, what have you been doing with the peasants in this time? Just making them sit down or something?
Teaching them to goose step.
I suppose instructing them on how to interact with the Inquisition would be wise.
Yeah, I'll be cooking the day's meal with the spices and stuff.
Okay, after about an hour of waiting, Arch, you see V and Inquisitor Bright coming along to where you are.
Is V clasped in chains?
No, he's still free for
In
now.
that case, I'm optimistic.
Okay.
I take a deep bow in front of the Inquisitor so the men can see that I know my place.
Okay. A lot of them are just sort of like just lounging around. A lot of them talking to one another. Some are praying. Some are eating whatever rations you've given them. Just getting with their lives. The Inquisitor walks up and greets you all. Asks you politely how the trip to Dorwyn was.
Well, we ran into bandits, killed all of them, brought their heads along because funsies. Then we were called refugees for a while. Almost burned down a small village. Never mind that.
What village? Dorwyn itself?
Not necessarily. Like I said, we only planned the initial stage, just didn't actually go through with it yet.
I look towards the Inquisitor with an expression, this is what I have to put up with.
It's still on the table, though. Nobody calls me a nigger without getting a little bit of burning.
Well, how fortunate it is that you're so beneficent.
I know, right? But I haven't given up on it yet.
And where have these refugees come from?
Oh, the refugees. They've come from my own home country. Not my people, mind you, otherwise I'd taken them under my own wing, but V took pity on them and started feeding them and stuff. Very, very kind of him. So now we have pets.
I find it funny that none of us can remember the name of your home country.
Isn't it Arbaland?
It's called France.
France?
Well, no need to remember that.
I wouldn't take a French refugee. Holy shit.
I think I'm starting to see some animosity from the GM that destroyed France. Got the people of the Beast God to attack France, and now
you aren't French, but that's only because you're not dark enough. Sorry, I'm not going to go all Trevor Noah on you here. Right, okay. So the Inquisitor just sort of puts his hands behind his back and says, "Right, I think I'll go and talk to some of your followers." And he wanders off past you. You going with him?
I advise him not to get too close. They're a bit bitey.
well, let's go with him, Arch, because some of them may speak.
We'll go in and invest the stock. Remember, if you're going to look at their teeth, you need to pull their gums back too.
Okay, the Inquisitor just walks over to the nearest group of them on the floor, just sat around, making a fire to cook some food, and he sits with them, and he speaks to them in the same language that they speak, and says, oh, you can actually understand, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just says, good morning, brother, or good afternoon, brother. How's it you find yourselves here? And the person next to him just starts explaining how they've come across the mountains because of the attack on their homeland. They've lost everything, and then suddenly a prophet from the Lord came.
Oh.
I assume that Uzlu and I can't understand this.
No, you can't.
No. I guess I'll just keep.
And I retract my at least in character.
I'll mention to the Inquisitor, we still have some problems talking them out of this. They are just peasants after all. What can you expect? They think anything is the Lord.
That might fly, actually. You might get lucky.
We're trying to educate them, but it's not easy.
You can try persuasion if you want.
I think I will.
Oh, I didn't touch it with the divine.
Persuasion. Not that bad.
Not that bad, but after you try, he just says, mm-hmm. And he gets up and goes over to the next couple of peasants and gets them to explain their story. They give a slightly different version of the events, but it's basically the same. One of them mentions that V cast a miracle, and
I told the Inquisitor, the man couldn't walk. It broke my heart. I thought, what would the prophet do in that situation?
mm-hmm.
Here, V, can I attempt to save you here?
You don't understand this. Go away now.
Okay. No? Okay. I guess I won't.
Just show us the doll where the divine touched.
The Inquisitor just walks over to another set and has basically the same conversation, where they describe how, despite the fact that you don't want to be called a prophet, they can't think of a better word for you, because you managed to call angels from the heavens to come and assist them in their time of need, and they are now utterly devoted to you. You are obviously the one true representative of Eroth on the earth. You are the divine.
This is why we brought you, Inquisitor. As you can see, they're, well, morons, basically.
The Inquisitor goes over to the next group, has essentially the same conversation. After about an hour of him wandering around and talking to these people, he goes back over to where Dev and Uzla are, and I assume you're following him. And he says, this is something that has never happened before. We've never had this kind of influence in the church before. It's not in my lifetime anyway.
Congratulations.
Have you fucking tried to pass them off as a con artist? Wow, these are unimaginative people.
I look towards the Inquisitor and I say, yeah, whatever I told them, whatever I do, they seem to believe that I am a man of the divine, and you can see the problems that this causes. I don't want to cause problems to the church, which is why I wanted to go for your wisdom, Inquisitor.
I'll shrug and just go, peasants.
I mean, you're going to have to try persuading him, or lying to him, or something.
Oh, it's not a lie. It's legitimately
it's a clear lie. You've had conversations with these people before.
And I told him not to call them prophet. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think V is lying here. He did make an effort not to.
It's fine. It's fine. I apparently.
Yeah, V is pretty good at lying.
I BuzzFeeded him.
Okay, that torrent of fake news actually goes under the radar, and Inquisitor Bright says, "I have heard from Inquisitor Hort that there is something about you that we have to be careful of, and it seems that these refugees would be one of the things that he was talking about. I'm going to return to the Inquisitorial camp. I suggest you set up camp here, and I will send for you tomorrow, because I'm afraid there are things I have to arrange."
Very well, Inquisitor.
Okay.
Am I in any trouble?
Am I being
detained? Officer!
With that, he bids you a good day and says that he will see you tomorrow.
Okay. Let's set up.
Don't get me wrong, your ass isn't out of the fire yet, but
could have been worse. By the way, starting tomorrow, when I wake up, I will keep casting the spell on me, so I get advantage.
Doesn't it only last for an hour?
Yeah. Actually, I'll ask some of the men, I guess, to announce to inform me when the Inquisition comes, so I can cast the spell.
They will, O prophet.
Yeah, that's going to get people to stop calling you prophet.
No, I just told them, let me know when the Inquisition comes.
Well, if you plan on setting up a camp, you can do it now.
I look over at V and go, so, V, you remember how we asked you to go check if we could stay with the Inquisition?
Yes.
You ask him about that at any point during your conversations?
Well, considering the fact that you weren't there, yeah, I did. It's not possible. It's not possible with 80 people.
It's all right, Arch. It may become mandatory that you stay with the Inquisition at the rate that V's going, so...
Oh, we'll pitch the tents then, looking over at V all the time, sniffing. Lies.
I gave a torrent of fake news that could have bullshitted an entire nation. I think I'm having it okay even with you.
Okay. Right, so mark off a day's food for the people. So how much food can you make in a day, V?
Let me check. So it was 3... create food and water. That's a day is 24 hours though, so
yeah.
Traditionally.
Arch, do you still want to spend that 470 or whatever it was for the training, or are you holding off on that?
Yes, I assume you've already marked that off.
So
I have it.
You can feed 15 people, so you can feed what?
And if the Inquisition kills all of them, I'm assuming the money doesn't disappear into the...
Well, no, obviously.
45 people.
Yeah.
If I cast it 3 times.
Yeah. And so you've got another 36 that you need to feed manually.
Yeah. And I won't have access to level 3 spells.
We should still have supplies for a few more days.
Yeah, V, I can cook up. I already marked off a day's worth of rations and spices to cook them a good meal.
All right.
It might be their last, so let's make it good.
Beheading does seem to be fun.
Okay.
All right, so there we go.
Right. Okay. Is there anything anyone wants to do while you're doing this?
Yeah, I want to instruct the people about the Inquisition. I basically want to tell them how the way of the world works and why they need to shut the fuck up.
Okay.
What role would that be? Would it be
It's a performance.
Persuasion or performance?
Well, performance if you're doing it to a group.
Okay. Right. So I explained to them that it's basically like give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar type of speech. That the church is the institution that represents the prophet. We need to respect it because they have a lot of authority. I'm not here to change the law. I'm here to enforce the law. Blah blah blah.
Every time you say a line, they just cheer and say, "Yes, O prophet." Fucking hell, V. Okay, yeah. I mean, they're loving this sermon.
The luck of the prophet continues.
I mean, it's unlikely these people are going to oppose the church anyway, really.
Yeah. I basically told them when talking to the church to tone it down with the miracles. And
you're the one who does the miracles.
Yeah, I told them I did the miracles in order to heal you and not in order to undermine the church. Basically, if you see me doing something, don't tell it to a member of the clergy.
Are they intelligent enough for that kind of subterfuge, though?
Yeah, I was going to say, broadly speaking, they just kind of look at you blankly. I mean, they agree to what you say, but how much?
No, I'm saying don't lie, right? But don't I'm not asking them to lie. If a member of the church asks them, then they should be honest.
Okay, now, okay.
But at the same time,
you're really confusing the poor fuckers.
Let me finish. At the same time, don't go to member of the clergy and start mouthing off. Like, I'm pretty sure they're intelligent people and they know it.
So basically, what you're telling them is snitches get stitches.
Yes. Look, I tried to tell them exactly.
Yeah, but they view you as a prophet from God.
I think if they were more intelligent, they wouldn't be here.
Good point.
I think that's the dilemma.
I've got some artwork here. So I cook food and Arch teaches them to march.
But you've got to remember these are fresh religious converts to your new religion.
Yeah. By the way, Lord Arch, would you be able to use that favor so I can gain tutelage from the devotee, and then I would have the protection, some sort of protection, I guess.
We'll deal with Prince Emmerich first. If he accepts the extortionist cost for the bear pup, so I can swear myself to him, then we'll do it, and I'll ask him about shipping as well. And if he says yes, then we're golden. If not, I might have to use that favor to ensure our dudes get across the ocean.
All right.
My lord. Are you doing anything else?
There's something really quickly. Do we still have the 10 bandit heads in the cart? Did we give those up?
No, you gave those up.
Yeah, we did. I'll take those off. We paid for the training, and I just marked it off, but it starts tomorrow. So those 14 guys will basically be stuck doing that 8 hours a day.
There is something we can do. The people I gave 1 gold to, I will ask them to come to me, and I will say, use the money I gave you to buy yourself some nice clothes, and also please buy some clothes for your brothers of faith. They're probably not going to be that expensive.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, a bunch of them nod.
Have we decided what to do with the 65 guys that can't fight, that aren't fighters?
We're going to send them off to do random chores, jobs, etc. to bring money back to us.
All right, sounds good.
taxation is. Well, I mean, taxation is very.
It's not taxes in this case, V. It's offerings and alms. Different, very different.
I guess I'll just cook, and that'll be my night then.
To be fair, Lord Arch, if we're
this
going to get a
stew has too little salt in it.
If we're going to get a boat, Lord Arch, we could use these people as sailors, the ones that come.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure these completely untrained peasants from bumfuckistan nowhere are excellent sailors.
You shouldn't we send them to the docks and try to do volunteer work there so they can learn a few things about steal the trade, as they say.
I think you are overly optimistic.
I think you're overly complicated navigation back in the day.
No, I think I am massively understating it.
Hold on. The British Navy used to literally capture people from ports and force them
press gangs. They didn't navigate, V.
No, of course not. We need a navigator, and we're going to need someone professional that does it. But the rest of the work, like swapping the decks, raising and lowering the sails, that type of thing, these people can be actually good for it.
To be fair, if pirates could do it, these guys probably could as well.
Yeah, I mean, if the pirates did it, yeah.
How much would a ship cost, you reckon? Do you reckon if we can get one for 1,000 gold, we could just drop that on it?
I think ships are pretty fucking expensive.
I looked this up the other day.
I want the man of war.
Oh, you want a nice ship, do you?
It's actually not that bad. A galley is 30,000, but a keel boat is only 3,000. A rowboat is 50 gold pieces.
Get a fleet of rowboats.
Can you get us across the goddamn ocean?
Probably not. A sailing ship's 10 grand.
Those are more expensive than I expected.
A long ship is 10.
They're not so bad.
To be fair, if we get a lot of rowboats and we sit next to bigger ships so we can get supplies from them, that might actually work.
What could go wrong?
No. The primary problem with a rowboat isn't the amount of shit it is on board, it's the size of the fucking waves.
Oh, man, I didn't think about that.
Okay, how about this? What if we used our 80 laborers to build us a boat?
Yes, Devo. Let us get not only the unschooled, untutored, untrained people to sail the boat, let's have them build it too.
The Vikings did it! And they reached America.
Yes. Do you think the Vikings were inexpert boat builders?
Should we not even mention the idea?
As we're eating and we're talking about it, I lift my head from the table. Do any of you know how to build a boat? Anyone?
I don't think you're going to get much positive responses.
No one raises a hand or anything.
Do you know someone that can build a boat?
I'm sure we can
state of this campaign.
But by the way, I would like
broadly speaking, you're a desert dwelling people.
We can get schematics and then just follow them.
No, we're going to buy one. By the way, Frenrik the Believer, can he always take part in these conversations? In case he got some input or to be able to tell the men when we're discussing.
He's the new Shad.
Yeah.
You can talk to him if you want.
No, I mean when we're having dinner, I'm asking Arch, is it okay if he also is part of us? Like he should get some higher status.
Insufferably deferential to you.
I just want him to tell the men what we're discussing and that type of thing, and also to get status.
Okay, well, if you say to him, "Tell the men what we're saying," he'll say, "Yes, Prophet." Well, yes, Brother V, and scurry off and do that.
Oh, he's an annoying twat. Is there anyone more reasonable among these people?
Someone in chat had a potentially viable suggestion, actually. Go to the port and start converting.
I'm sure that would go fine with the Inquisition.
I wonder how much of a role you'd have to get to convert someone who's actually professional and not just a retarded peasant.
Are you doing anything with your evening, or are you just resting?
No, just resting.
Right, okay. Right. The next morning comes. Your little camp starts waking up. You notice that you're quite far away from water, and you don't have anything to carry water back to the camp in.
We don't?
Well, what would you carry water for 80 people in?
We've got 5 peasants. We've got 5 barrels on the cart.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can go down to the lake and get water in 5 barrels.
Yep. Just have our guys go do that.
Yeah.
Supply with water.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to take the cart to the lake, though.
Well, you get like 4 guys to a barrel. They can carry it back.
Okay. Are you going to organize that, Dev?
Sure. I'll organize the water expedition.
Okay.
B. Phone.
Blip, 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 bling, plonk.
And
I knew there's a reason I had that tune in my head.
Since we're here, V, breakfast. Your people want feeding for the day.
Yeah.
You producing 45 food?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. And
Are you doing it whilst hidden, just in case the Inquisition might have a spy or two looking to see if you're...
I'm in the tent and the food comes out of the tent.
It just appears on the outside of the tent.
I just love the idea that just like, I mean, you're obviously gonna have to get the followers to come in and get the food from you. So like, just out of this tent just flows this cornucopia of food. It's like, wow.
Tents start bulging and then it just.
Well,
rips
there's
open
no way
and
around it.
spills
Like
out.
There isn't, right?
There's no way around doing it. So
Well, you can always buy them food.
yeah, but that's expensive.
Yeah, but that's
this is
incomprehensible.
communism. This is communism.
Yeah, V. You can also produce water. So I mean, we don't need to get water from the lake, do we?
Yeah, but that is a good point.
He can produce food or water.
No,
It's
pounds
a-
of food and 30 gallons of water.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
On the ground or in
or in
containers?
containers.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't-
Fair enough.
doesn't
Yeah, you
magically
can. You can provide water. That's fine.
Okay.
Um,
Well.
That
Yeah.
saves that problem.
Yep.
But you still got 36 people that you need to feed. So, food of a day's worth of food rations from the market is 3 copper pieces, and they're terrible rations.
I mean, we've still got 6 days worth of rations and spices on the cart too. So I can just cook some more for the morning and give us a day's worth of food.
We'll do that first.
All right.
Okay,
I'll
knock
knock
off
off
another day's worth.
I'm
Yep.
surprised Devo doesn't want to indoctrinate these people into social justice.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not that kind of character, B.
Would be
I also
fun, though.
don't like Stavron either.
Why? What did Stavron ever do wrong?
Well, he beat me up.
You started it.
You finished it.
Yeah.
You were acting like a.
He just wants to bring peace and justice to the world, Dev.
And
Right.
he might actually succeed with people like me that can create food out of thin air.
Is anyone else doing anything in the morning?
Nope.
Okay. By midday, an inquisitorial retinue approaches your camp.
Can I create the spell now? Cast the spell.
You can run into your tent and cast a spell if you want.
On me and on Arch. So that's twice the casting.
Arch.
Going into the tent all like that. Just seems so fucking dodgy. Oh, fine.
V, it says when you cast the spell using a spell slot of 3rd level or higher, you can target additional creatures.
Yeah, but I don't want to waste 3rd level because that's the food.
Okay.
Right, okay. The inquisitorial retinue arrives. There are 10 penitent knights with Inquisitor Bright and Inquisitor Hort.
Oh, look, he brought friends. I'm sure that's a good sign.
Yes. And Inquisitor Bright comes forward and says, V, we wish you to come with us now.
Yes, my lord.
Well, that was predictable.
Is it just V?
They're just asking for V.
I'll step forward and go like, what is your business with my manservant?
Do you think that's the best idea?
Yes.
Well, they are touching his property, so.
Yeah.
Inquisitor Hort just looks at you coldly and says it's inquisitorial business. We'll let you know when we need you.
That's what I was expecting, to be honest.
I look at him and go, and ask, you're making off with a lord's manservant without telling him even what you want him for. I seem to remember you telling me that there were procedures to this not that long ago.
Inquisitor Hort just smiles at you and says, "We're following procedures."
I see. What procedures?
It's not for you to know. This internal inquisitorial business.
Is that doing an am I being the thing type of movement?
And the great thing is, you can't even sit there and go on about innate rights, because such a thing doesn't exist in this world.
Internal inquisitorial duties, eh? Well, luckily that V is not affiliated with your church directly then, since he was under Stavros.
No, he's currently a ward of the church, which is why we are keeping him in our camp.
I guess there was a disadvantage to taking that camp.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just get like an official position by getting in trouble?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a position until this moment, apparently.
What did they say my position is? Because I didn't get that.
A ward. It means that you're under their command, basically.
Yeah.
They're responsible for you.
Not the best position, but a position nonetheless.
This isn't something you've consented to, obviously.
Okay. I'll look at him like, that's news to me. I'm sure you have a document then.
Yep, he produces a document and he opens it. You can read it. It appears to be completely above board, and it's got the Patriarch's wax seal on it. It's requesting.
I admire it. Go on.
Requesting the apprehension of V, and to be brought before the Patriarch.
I'm sure it's bullshit. Investigation roll.
It appears to be legitimate.
I admire your fervor, but you are sort of fighting bureaucrats on bureaucracy here. Maybe there's not much you can do.
Well, I mean, you've got plenty of options. It's just what's one.
Not many of them are good, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, if option A, argue, doesn't function, option B, beat them, is always one.
Yeah.
There's 10 guys though.
And
We have
they're not just they're not legionaries either. They're penitent knights. So.
Do you think there's a chance that V isn't actually going to be like killed or get in serious trouble here? He might actually be something positive, despite how it looks.
Is
might have to take.
Is Dean part of the group of 10 guys?
He is not.
Oh, okay.
Right now, me and V are getting along, so I'm going to defend him. Don't worry, Zulu, if they come for you, I'm going to send you off.
V, do you want to run here or something?
No.
He's not going to run.
Okay.
Okay, well, it looks like they've actually got the paperwork. I'll simply just go, this looks all to be in order. I would request to come along to see how you're going to handle my manservant.
Inquisitor Bright just waddles over and says, "No, you seem to have your hands full here. You're clearly needed with your people."
I look over at the peasants scratching each other's assholes and farting gently into the wind.
These are your liege men, are they not? And he says that in the deliberately condescending tone.
No, that's a great idea. That's actually a wonderful idea. That's correct. V did inform you that they were under my command, not his, didn't they? Didn't he?
I wouldn't phrase it like that. But yes, that is what V said. That is the implication of the thing that he just said. Although he's making it into a condescending insult at your honor, saying that you are the lord of a bunch of smelly, starving peasants.
And
it's not
he has
exactly
a limp.
Prestigious force that you have, is what he's saying.
I see. I'll insult his nose then.
How?
I'll just look over and go like, "Oh, my lord, or your holiness, I guess in this case. As you can see, they're mere peasants. They'll be occupied smelling their own farts all day, so don't worry, I can come along."
No, I'm afraid the Patriarch has requested V and V alone. As you can see, it's here in the paperwork.
I look towards Arch and I say, "My lord, I think it's best if I just go. I don't think we can. I don't think we should interfere in church matters."
Okay, I'll gently pat him on the buttocks and whisper into his ear, "Don't forget you have telepathy, just in case."
Good move. That's why they had to come back a day later, Arch. Someone had to drop the papers. Right, okay. They just request that you come with them, V.
Yeah. I look towards the Inquisitor, right? So, am I in any trouble?
It's not for me to say. I'm not the one who makes the decisions.
I understand.
And they march off with you. You'll be spending the next 4 hours marching to Penderley. So in that time, does anyone want to do anything else?
Do we want to ghost them at a distance?
I have to say, the fuckers look at my peasants and go like, "Oh, that's not very nice," and they came here on fucking foot.
No, they didn't come on foot.
Didn't even have horses.
Hmm?
Marching 4 hours.
Oh, sorry. I won't say marching then. Riding. But okay. No, it's a 2-hour journey to get there, so 4 hours at least. I mean, it could be more if probably with an hour for whatever they're going to do. So okay, that long. So
I didn't lend V a horse, so they're going to be slow as fuck. Dev,
not give V his horse.
Of course not. Dev, go run after them. You should keep up with them easy.
No, come on, V. You are given a horse.
Yay!
Ask if you can keep it.
Do you actually want me to chase after him, or?
No. Don't. They won't allow you anyway. So.
What's your stealth like?
in daytime, I'm not sure, but my stealth score.
This isn't D&D. You can fucking sneak in broad daylight. It's fine.
Yeah.
I've got
high hazard,
5.
high risk.
I've got 5 stealth.
5? It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Run off after them. You can keep up with them. If they stop you, you can just go like, "Well, Massa told me to go fetch cotton, so here I am."
Can I stay far enough back just to like make sure they don't see me, but kind of keep an eye, like a hill over or something?
You can try and use your stealth skill. Yes.
What's the plan, Devil? Like, if they want to kill me, what are you going to do against 10 knights and then how many of the?
He's a monk. He's fucking overpowered. Worst case scenario, he can just leg it.
I can just run away. Yeah, I guess. But then if they see me, then like we're all fucked.
No, it's just an Negro shadowing them. That's worst case scenario. They'll come up to you and go like, "Fuck off, black man." You can be like, "That's racist," and then leave. I mean, they're not going to come like fucking decapitate you for that.
No, but Arch, they do know who I am. They know that your squad has.
They know that you've been involved in demon books and you're close to Bishop Stavron. It's not like you don't have a history.
To be fair, I think you're going to make my case worse. So it's better if you just let me cooperate.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's not a bad argument, though.
Okay. But in the meantime, while V's gone for about 5 hours, is there anything you're doing?
Yes. Get all of them up on their feet. Macht schnell.
You want to do right? Are you personally doing the training, Arch?
Yes, for 8 hours.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, how many of them are you training?
14.
14. You're not training the untrained peasants into fighters or anything?
No, just these ones for now.
Right, okay.
Because we're not sure how long we're going to keep these peasants.
Okay, well, it's 14 gold pieces then?
Okay, Dev. Add it back in.
Yeah, see, that's why I said. It was 1996.
Well, why don't you just, create a separate fund?
We have. That's the army fund.
Yeah, I know, but out of the army fund, create a training fund.
Yeah, do that. Go like 420 training, and then just minus 19, or write 19 under that, I guess, or 14. I mean.
Yep. Then it was 420, so now it's 419.
Yeah.
There we go. Done.
Is that correct?
I think so. Yes.
That's 14 gold pieces you've knocked off.
Oh, 14 gold pieces. Okay.
Yeah. It's 1 per person per day.
Yeah. 406. Okay. There we go.
Okay. Okay. Arch is training the men. Is anyone doing anything else?
Uzulu, shall we go shopping?
Oh, it's a big risk. I hate shopping at all.
Were there any quests that you guys needed to complete?
Go to the prince. Yeah, and then
prince with the bears.
Yeah. We'll do that after training.
I was going to suggest the prince, but I feel like we don't want to start a new thing while V might be about to, not come back.
Do you want to go out and see that old man who gypped us?
I think that's a longer journey than the prince. I can't remember the geography though.
It is a longer journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else we need to do.
Prince Emmerich wanted you to find his missing scouts. Yeah, that's somebody in the chat. Yeah, but that's like something that's like the next leg of the main story. We're gonna wait on that, I think.
Oh, that was on an island somewhere, wasn't it? Yeah, the next big quest that we're gonna do.
An island to the west.
Yeah.
What we could do is we could actually take the other 66 guys and give them jobs.
That was
not
the
sitting
general
around.
idea of just sending them out to do the job stuff. What was it?
Send them in the harbor. At least they can see.
They're not going to learn to sail from that.
No. In the hospital, there are nurses that know what doctors need to do just by being in proximity.
So what you're basically saying is you want to send them out into the camp and just do day laboring, right?
Yeah. Well, encourage them to.
Yeah, maybe they can get a job and bring back some money or get some firewood.
Try and go around the camp and just earn a day's wages.
Also, may I point out, remaining hospitals, the nurses aren't even trained. They just look at the doctors and go like, I can do
no, they do get training, Arsh. But if you do a job and you work amongst other people and you watch them, eventually you're not going to be as good as them, but you are going to get the ropes.
It takes a long time, though, that we don't have.
I think that's going to take a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to sit months until the Crusades leave, it's probably going to be something rather than nothing.
I doubt so. I wouldn't trust the boat to them regardless, honestly.
So even if we assume that does work, though, to what end? Like, any ship that's leaving for the Crusade already has a crew that is working for it, and we still need a massive amount of money to buy our own ship.
You're going to just hire, let's say, 5 sailors, and each experienced sailor is going to have 10 inexperienced guys in their command, and he can definitely delegate and tell them what to do.
Have you ever heard of the old saying, too many cooks in the shared kitchen?
Mm-hmm. I think the day's labor is a good idea for these 66 guys.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so we'll just command them to go out and get firewood or do some odd jobs to bring some money back or something to help upkeep our camp.
Okay,
whatever they can find.
Okay, yeah, they go into the camp and just start looking around for day labor.
One of them starts selling blessed weaponry.
Blessed by V.
Right. Okay, V.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, you travel with the 2 Inquisitors towards Pendley. You arrive at Pendley. I
ask if I can use a pivot before talking with the prophet, with the patriarch.
Yes, you can relieve yourself at any point on the journey.
Right, and I will cast the spell when I'm behind the bush. Let's see. All right.
They're treating this suspected prophet wannabe remarkably leniently. Yeah,
well, I am cooperating, actually, which is why I get the opportunity to be treated leniently.
Okay. As you are just finishing up casting, you notice that Inquisitor Hort has walked around and is watching you.
Aspu! It was a trapper!
I walk back as if nothing happened.
Well, he stops you and says, "What are you doing?"
I'm asking the prophet for blessing.
All right.
Well, that's shitting. Wow, that's horrible.
Yeah, you were supposed to be taking a shit, but you better try a deception roll.
So he just comes in and like, "What were you doing?" Well, while wiping my ass, I was thinking about Allah.
He says, "Why did you lie to us about needing to use the bathroom?"
I'm very nervous about all of this, Inquisitor. It never happened to me before. And I just wanted to ask the prophet for blessing, and you said I shouldn't do something like that in the presence of other people.
So a lie upon a lie.
I bow my head in shame.
Okay, no, that's fine. He just orders you to rejoin the procession. They take you into Pendley. you head towards Pendley Abbey, but instead of going to the Abbey, they take you to a chapel instead. In the chapel, there is a black stone mounted on the wall. You are ordered to touch your forehead to this magical stone.
I walk to the stone and I touch my forehead to the magical stone.
Okay. You feel the spell you've cast on yourself negate.
Meow, meow, meow.
The power of cats.
Yeah, it's one of Disco's cats. I'm going to try and silence it somewhat non-violently.
It wasn't.
I can actually understand cat. It's saying womp womp.
I feel the power of the prophet leaving me.
Yeah, but this is all done in remarkable silence, and the priest in the chapel seems to understand what's going on when you go in there.
Poor son of a bitch, he's dead.
But afterwards, they just march you out and go back to the abbey, the cathedral, sorry, and you go in after waiting for a period of time to see the patriarch. Now I just have to find the patriarch's area.
If they wanted to kill him, they wouldn't have done that.
They probably want to see if I'm useful or not.
They probably want an excuse before they murder him. Like, we tried to talk to him, but then he started spouting heresy.
Right, yeah. So you the doors to the cathedral open, and you are instructed to enter.
I enter. I
Inquisitor
cross myself at the door.
Inquisitor Hort and Inquisitor Bright enter with you, and the doors close. So it's just you, the Patriarch, and them in this fairly large hall. And you walk over, and the Patriarch stands up.
I drop to my knees instantly.
He offers you a finger with a ring on it to kiss.
Of course, I kiss it, and then I cross myself.
Okay. He says, I'm deeply concerned that you appear to be using your powers for personal gain and not the glorification of the church.
Your Holiness, I have came out of my own free will to the Inquisition because this is also very new to me and very bewildering. I did not ask for these powers. All I wanted to do was to go into the Crusade and gain revenge for the heretics that burned down my village. However, it seems that the prophet gave me these powers, and I want them to use them as you see fit.
Okay, make a persuasion check. The Patriarch places his fingertips against your forehead and closes his eyes and just says, I believe you, my son, but you have to understand, what I'm advising you now is for your own safety as much as the safety of the church, the crusade, and the eternal majesty of our entire of the realm. You should not use your powers unless expressly authorized by a member of the church. You are to inform your followers that you are not a prophet, but instead a vessel through which God has blessed the crusade. Punishment for violating this commandment will be excommunication.
I turn white as a sheet.
Define precisely what his powers is? Like, can he still cast spells or full ban?
Obviously not.
Oof.
I turn white as a sheet when he mentions the word excommunication.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What if the followers do not obey my wishes? I tried along the journey to convince them that I'm not a prophet.
He just shrugs. You will do your best.
I know.
You will find a way to make them realize that you are just a man.
Yes. Your Holiness, may I speak freely?
Of course.
I think most of these people are going to sacrifice their lives in the crusade. So
he stops you and says, yes, but they're not going to sacrifice themselves for you.
Of course not. They're going to sacrifice their lives in the name of the faith, and they're going to reach heaven. My point is that they will not be spreading rumors for much longer. As soon as the crusade moves out, we're going to go to a distant land, and you're probably never going to hear from us again.
The Pope says, well, that remains to be determined. But in the meantime, you are forbidden to use your powers in public.
I understand.
Ask me if you can at least use them for self-defense.
Yeah, that is a good.
We need to clarify this a little bit.
Yeah. Well, what if my life is threatened, Your Holiness?
There is a place for you in heaven.
Oh no, too much devotion, V. Scale
lovely.
it back. Scale it back.
Time to reroll, V. You're useless now.
Well, I guess I'll just have to break the commandments without him finding out one time.
Yes.
You thought V didn't heal you much before. Well, guess what's going to happen now?
Yeah, I think we're gonna stab V just to get a fucking healer back.
Yeah, we'll another charisma fucking character.
Yeah. I will ask the Patriarch one last thing. Your Holiness, before I came to this land, I was a member of a church. I was studying to become a priest. And after my church burned down, there was no one left to teach me. If I'm going to go to the heathen land of the followers of the beast god, I would like to know more about the faith. Is there any place where I could learn more about God and the prophet? Basically, I'm asking him for a job.
Yeah, I know, but it's the idea that he's not exactly going to. No, I can't think of anywhere like that. It's just a funny question. He just shrugs and says, "I will leave you in the capable hands of Inquisitors Bright and Hort."
I know.
What for a shrugging for a pope?
I don't know how much shrugging popes do.
No, I guess they would do not very much.
I guess the assumption is that
I look at him a little bit bewildered. It's like, so am I to become an Inquisitor?
No, you are to become a servant of the church. And being a servant of the church means doing as the church instructs.
So I will not have any official title or position.
V, I know you do almost nothing else, but maybe it's time to stop pushing your luck.
Your position is bitch boy. They have power over you. You have zero power over them.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm asking him, like, I have no wage. How am I going to earn a living?
You're provided food by the Inquisition.
We're doing okay, to be honest, V.
God, can they stop feeding him? If he can't cast spell, he needs to die, okay? Make him fucking starve.
And suddenly Arch isn't on V's side anymore.
Very well. When the crusade moves out and we are going to join glorious combat, will I be assigned to a unit of the church, or will I follow Lord Arch?
Well, you will have the Inquisitors there to instruct you on what your behavior should be.
Very well.
Is there anything else I need to say to you? No, I think with that he just nods at the Inquisitors, and they instruct you to leave.
I guess I have one last question. I'll push my luck again. Last time, if he stomached me up till now, I suppose he will stomach me further. How does one become an Inquisitor? Are there any tests one can follow? Is there any procedure one enrolls in the Inquisition?
Inquisitor Hort just interrupts you and says, "Decades of service." Now let us go.
Very well.
You missed an opportunity there. Should have gone decades of service and less fucking lip, youngling.
The two Inquisitors bow to the Patriarch and they leave, taking you with them. As you go out, the Inquisitor Hort turns to you and says, "Do you fully understand what the Pope is saying here?" Or the Patriarch is saying?
Yeah, I respond, "Of course, Your Holiness."
He nods and says, "Well, I do hope so, because you're running a very thin line, and that's all I can say about it."
Well, Inquisitor, if my actions in the past have demonstrated I am in the service of the church, I have managed to
convince my lord to go to war against the demon. I have managed to expose heresy when it came to Bishop Stavron, and I have came willingly and subjected myself willingly to the Patriarch's judgment.
Inquisitor Bright says, all duly noted, but the influence you've had on your followers is disturbing.
I agree.
The mantle of leadership has been thrusted upon me, my lord.
Yes. When you say thrust upon you, you mean you've taken advantage of your God-given powers.
I actually asked the Inquisitor, well, Inquisitor, if you would have access to these powers and you see your own people and your own countrymen turning to banditry and starving to death while laying economic siege upon a city, what would you have done? And I look him straight in the eye.
He replies, I don't think your motives are impure. I'm just letting you know that in the temporal world, we unfortunately have to abide by the structures and institutions that bind us.
I agree, which is why I thought that what Stavron was doing was very dangerous. I do not want to be a Stavron, which is why I came to the Inquisition for wisdom.
I'm very glad to hear it. And they carry on walking.
Am I BuzzFeed, Sargon? Am I BuzzFeed? Tell me I must.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you mean by am I BuzzFeed?
Well, I want to start the cult, and
you started a cult already.
Yeah, and I want to amp it up, and here I am, being a journalist, telling him what he needs to hear.
Well, I mean, I guess, but
poison in his ear.
Imply that BuzzFeed is journalism.
Yeah, V, that's the most ridiculous heresy of all.
No, I think V has achieved his goal by saying that.
But right, okay, so you're let out of Penderley, and after you leave the city gates, the Inquisitors say, "We will be in contact."
I understand. The people that we have gathered, will they stay with the Inquisition camp, or will they stay where we set up camp now?
Inquisitor Hort says, "We're not feeding them.
If we provide food ourselves,
we're not housing them either. They are your refugees. They are your responsibility."
I understand, my lord. There is a problem, actually. I used to feed them by asking the Prophet for food, but now that I'm not allowed to do that...
Oh, no.
I assume some of these people might turn misfits, if not fed.
We have plenty of gallows.
Are you blackmailing the Inquisition to feed your peasants because you've been told you shouldn't use your magical powers?
They've been a dick to me, I'm being a dick to them.
Well, the Inquisitor just shrugs and says, well, if they're found to be lawbreakers, they'll be dealt with, and the person that they are answering for will also be dealt with, which is you.
I understand, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor Hort just shrugs and says, you brought them, and then closes the gate. You are now outside of Penderley.
I'm going back to Lord Arch.
Okay. Takes you about 2 hours.
I realized I forgot to mention that Prince Emmerich also saw me cast spells and shit.
Yep. Why do you think they want you to stop?
I'll have a talk with Prince Emmerich.
Well, could be an option. It's about 5 hours. Yeah, it's about midday by the time you arrive back at the camp. You find Arch goose-stepping the ones that are actually trained. Well, they are trained soldiers, I suppose. But the I guess we'll call them men-at-arms. And the camp is relatively empty because the rest of the peasants are off into the Crusader camp looking for work.
I approach Lord Arch. I tell him, so until we get an army bigger than the Inquisition, I am ordered to stop performing miracles for the masses.
And you have to do your best to convince them that you're not a miracle weaver.
Yeah, I will when they.
No, that wasn't the request. The request was to make sure that they understood that this wasn't some unique gift. That it was that he is not a prophet. He's not something new or unique. That's what they want.
I have some new ritual to start.
Mm-hmm.
There we are. Hashtag V2.
Oh,
Pretty good. V, I'm actually quite happy that you're causing all this trouble, but because it means that they probably forgot the fact that I didn't help butcher the civilians.
I don't think I even remember.
Well, they were mad about it, and I thought I was going to get in trouble, and now they're just preoccupied with you, so I don't think anyone cares anymore.
So what I think, like, maybe I should get the Bishop Stavron and bring these people, and bring more people to Stavron until Stavron has an army. And then I can fuck with them properly. And maybe I go into hiding like Saddam Hussein in a little hole somewhere in the forest where they can't find me, but I still just...
There's some great chat here, right? So Binary Surfer, he's not the prophet, he's a very naughty heretic. And so someone underneath it, V has far too big of an ego for this to happen.
The thing is, like, V does have a bigger ego, but V is also not with one intelligence to realize that he can get killed very easily here. So he needs to tell people what they want to hear in order to...
Death by Snooze is like, so basically you've trained a bunch of new bandits. Well, I mean, they're still in V's employ at the moment, or Archer's employ. Right, okay, yeah, but what are you doing?
Let's go to Prince Emmerich.
Archer's busy training.
Okay, well, the rest of us can go, but I think what I should do is I should go out into the camp and talk to a few people, because I want to find out if that final, was it a king or a lord with his army that was kind of being held up, if he's finally arrived, and that's why the camp is now much bigger.
Okay, you can go in. What skill is there? There must be some sort of skill for just information gathering.
Investigation.
Investigation. All right. Nope. We can see your webcam, Uzulu. There you go.
Right.
I mean, you don't, you don't manage to find any particular information, but there are other just barons and dukes that are arriving. They're expecting a king to arrive with a massive army, but because he comes from the far north, which is a very exotic desert region, he's taking a long time to arrive. But he's actually, a fleet that's due for him has already arrived. It's sailed around.
All right.
Hey, I hate to interrupt. Can you guys hear me okay?
You're pretty rough, but I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm currently away from home and I'm improvising. The laptop I was using is just, I think, overheated, and I'm on my phone. So apologies for the awkwardness. I probably can't join Roll20 either, but I'll try and fix it as soon as I can.
Okay. Well, we'll just bear it in mind for now. I mean, as long as you can talk, that's fine.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, Dev, you don't find any particular information that you're looking for.
All right. That's my morning, I guess.
Right, okay.
All right, so we're probably going to have to kill V.
I'm glad I was here for that.
That's good of you to weigh in there, Nyantaro.
Yeah, the cat agrees with you, Arch. I think we've got full support for this plan.
The cat's the tiebreaker, isn't it?
Yeah.
All kidding aside, though, we'll have to find some way to work around this because we're essentially one character down, except for Piddly Crossbow.
No, hold on. I can still cast spells, just making sure that no one manages to find out that I did it.
Or get permission.
Or get permission, yeah.
I like how the charisma priest is the one that's being limited in combat.
Oh, the first thing you should do then is go right back to the Inquisitor. Because you already asked him, like, what if my life is in danger? And he goes like, well, you're fucked.
Well, Arch, you
You've
can
got an
actually...
eternal soul. What are you talking about?
Hold on, Archie. You can actually go to the Inquisition and be outraged that they castrated your holy man. Start a fuss about it.
Wouldn't help much. I could bring the injustice of it to Emmerich, and I probably will.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Then it's like they castrated my man, my main man.
Okay, well, I mean, Arch, you started training your chaps at about 7 in the morning, so you're finished by 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, we'll head over to Emmerich around about that time, probably.
Okay.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Okay.
I'll touch Arch before we go, so he can.
Oh, good. That took you like 5 minutes before you broke.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up and come to the tent, unless you think that the sheets have eyes.
So what are you casting on Arch?
Enhance-ability.
All right, so he gets an advantage.
And myself. Fucking black stone. It's like, okay, to take your magic away. Heretic object.
Okay, Ryan, you're traveling to Prince Emmerich's camp.
Are you coming with us?
Come on with you where, sorry? I'm currently changing PCs.
To Prince Emmerich's camp.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that's where everyone's going. Why wouldn't we be?
Yep.
Just drag his mewing ass along.
Right, you arrive at the camp, and the guards at the gate recognize who you are, and they say that Prince Emmerich is actually available. He's actually, I'm not going to bother setting up a thing, but he's doing a practice jousting tournament in a kind of makeshift tourney area they've set up on the ground that Baron Monver seeded, in fact. It's a bit of an insult that they're not even using it to house men, but you go on down there, and Prince Emmerich is on a steed in his armor with a great golden plume coming off the top. He's got a lance. As you watch, him and another knight charge at each other. Emmerich smashes the guy in the chest, knocks him flat on his back, arrives at the end of the jousting lists, and lifts up his helmet and just starts cheering about himself. So,
I explode in a...
And all of his knights standing around sort of cheer him and stuff like this.
Yeah, I exploded a thunderous applause, over-exaggerating my excitement.
That's booming voice or something.
Good idea, V. Just keep following Archer's advice. Your eternal soul will be in heaven before you know it.
And we can have a thief or something useful.
V's been pretty useful so far. You've got 14 soldiers.
Wow. 14 liabilities.
Right. But yeah, afterwards the prince is he gets off his horse and he's stomping around his armor, and everyone's clapping him on the back, and they're just sharing stories, talking about his prowess, and grabs an ale and everyone starts drinking. And as you go over to him, he points to you and says, "Oh, fellow, how are you? I haven't seen you. Wait, you were going to get that the bear trainer for me, weren't you?"
I'll give him a nice deep bow and tell him that, yes, indeed we did, my lord. We ventured off to find the bear trainer.
And
I'll tell him about the journey, tell him about the refugees, the general situation.
Well, hang on. You're going to have to go through this because,
I'll tell him, we showed up at the gates of the village. Told them we came here for the bear trainer. They were most inhospitable. They were most disrespectful towards our honest mission, and your person as well. A uncouth barbarian village.
Why? What did they say to dishonor me?
Oh, they refused us entry when we claimed that we were on your mission, as we obviously were. They said that they were not going to follow the orders of some lordling and let in more people.
He looks absolutely stunned. Didn't one of my scribes give you a writ?
Yes, they wouldn't even read it, my lord.
He looks absolutely flabbergasted. Why?
How do I spin this? without having to roll for deceive.
Well, you're going to have to roll something. So
You get advantage because I casted the spell on you. So
Yes. Let's see. Oh, my lord, it's difficult to discern the reasons for these backwater savages. They made many insults towards me, my company, and companions, and eventually refused us entry. It was a horrible altercation, really. Eventually, we managed to get one individual in to contact the bear tamer only after great difficulties.
he's really perplexed. He's like, yeah, but why didn't they let you in?
I'm not sure, my lord. It was after we presented ourselves, and they wouldn't even listen to things. They were spouting something about refugees.
Damn it, V, mute yourself. Can I mute you? Yes, I can.
I believe they even had the tenacity to call us, your emissaries in this, accuse us to want to come into their village for refuge, that we were indeed refugees.
He looks perplexed because he's not that smart. But he says, right, so there were loads of refugees there, were there?
There were refugees encamped outside the gates. We had to beat them off away from the cart before we were to enter, making sure that none would enter the town, of course.
Hang on a second. I need to know what his response to that might be. Hang on a second. Okay, he says, well, you know what they're like. A lot of the time they want to get close to their heroes. So did you manage to speak to the trainer or not?
Yes, after long periods of much hardship, we eventually managed to arrive at a meeting outside the city, since they still refused to let us in.
Okay, and what did he say?
Ah, my lord, I believe the trainer might as well have been affected by these strange ways. He asked for a sum of 20,000 gold pieces per bear.
Prince Emmerich just blinks and goes, oh, that's cheap.
Of course he would.
So do I need to send the bears to him, or?
I'll be just like, ah, yes, we negotiated long and hard. Got him down to such a reasonable sum. He also agreed to take them on himself, so as to not burden your lordship with any more scratching and defecation and such nonsense.
Oh, that's fantastic. How many men should I send with the bears and the money? Was it a dangerous road?
we cleared it
It
up.
was a dangerous road, my liege. I cannot speak to it now, since myself and my companions were set upon by over 30 bandits, but after a short scuffle, we killed... How many was it, Dev?
So suddenly, as soon as you say 30 bandits, suddenly his eyes just light up. And he's like, oh, what happened?
Oh, it was a ferocious melee. They had us outnumbered and surrounded with advantageous positions on the cliffs for longbows, but...
He as soon as you say that, he's just grinning and he's like, clenches his fist and then, how did you get out of it? Come on, what did you do?
Myself and my manservant V had already outwitted them. You see, we understood that something was up the moment we entered the valley, and so climbed it and found ourselves in a advantageous position to ambush the ambushers. My fat Negro manservant leapt across a gorge to beat a poor man senseless with his stick.
Prince Emmerich just goes, ha, and slaps you on the back. That's bloody good show.
Hey, Arch, in the background, I'm gonna like run and do a jump, just to demonstrate.
You're standing outside the gates. You're a manservant. You don't like.
Yeah,
No, aren't we all there?
No,
You don't let
Oh,
riffraff like that inside. Jesus, what are you thinking?
you're standing with the commoners, Dev. I'm so sorry.
God.
Oh no.
But yeah, no, he's like, absolutely. We can't let these outlaws just do what they want. So
I should think that a small escort should be plenty after we scattered the majority of the bandits, just to be safe.
So how many do you think?
How many did we have to live? We killed, what, 10?
Yeah. 10, yes.
There was perhaps 20 of them, a slight less than I'd originally intended.
So he says, right, fine. So if I send 30 men then.
That should be more than enough, your lordship.
Right, okay. Excellent. He snaps his fingers at one of the scribes that's nearby. They shuffle over, pull up a wax tablet, and he just says, right, take 40,000 gold to Dorwin to... he points at you to get the guy's name.
Yes, Jim Crow.
Jim Crow. And take the 2 bear cubs as well. Make sure they're fed and provisioned. And take 30 men and give this gentleman 500 gold pieces. The scribe makes the notes, scurries off, and then comes back with a bag of gold. You are 500 gold pieces richer.
Thank the Lord profusely for his generosity.
Yeah, he just shrugs it off.
By the way, we still have those fucking heads, don't we? God damn it.
I thought you
Yeah, we gave him away.
You gave him into the sheriff, didn't you?
Also, if 20,000 isn't much to him, we could have had our bear trained.
Yeah, for 10 years or how much?
5 years.
5 years.
Would have been worth it.
Might have been. Honestly, I figured he would think that expensive because they specifically said we wanted cheap.
Yeah, we didn't know the economy of the land here.
Yeah. I will also mention now, though, whilst I have his ear, my lord, if I may have your ear for a moment, another situation has arisen that has inconvenienced my party of brave adventurers and heroes.
No,
quite
he
considerably.
looks genuinely concerned.
See, whilst carrying out your mission, we looked at the refugees. They were inconveniencing the town, and despite their dreadful treatment of us, we assumed they would treat these poor men even worse. They are from my original homeland, so we took on a small number of them to come along with us to save them from this dreadfully racist and unrespectful town.
They're racist?
Oh, most certainly. And bigoted, and homophobic, and sexist, and transphobic.
he doesn't understand most of what you've just said there, but he says, "Oh, well, what are you suggesting?"
Oh, I don't know. I could maybe have him feed him, but before that, the idea was that of my my kind-hearted cleric, V. One of the heroes in my party, the man that had a key role in banishing those horrible demonic entities whose head we presented you with.
Ah, yes. He gives you a big grin.
It seems, however, that the church has somehow misunderstood our intentions and is accusing V of trying to build a cult, something that V himself profusely denies. I can witness myself that during our long journey, he would never not stop correcting them, that he was no one special and indeed was not deserving of their reverence. And yet now the church has completely banned him from using his prophet-given gifts of casting spells.
Prince Emmerich looks suddenly nervous, and he just goes, "Well, I mean, you know, the church is the church. I try to avoid getting involved. I mean, I just keep my soul online. My chaplain just tells me that I'm doing the right thing, and then I just carry on. I don't think about the church too often, I'm afraid."
Sadly, he's a bit of a pussy. Okay, in that case, let's pivot. Oh, of course, my lord. I'm sure they have their reasons, but it has left us now in a bit of a pinch where we have to support all of these countrymen of ourselves. They do eat a tremendous amount, like all peasants do. Give him a little wink.
He just looks at, well, they sound like freeloaders. Why don't you just send them out to work?
We are sending them out to do day labor, of course, and to provide services to the community to recompense their freeloading ways. We are also training a handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible, perhaps, to inquire of the prince if he has any armorers that he might be able to spare?
He says, "No, I think my armorers," and he calls over the scribe again, and the scribe just explains that the armorers are consistently backlogged, as are all the prince's blacksmiths. The scribe looks weary of the prince's lack of understanding of bureaucracy and has to explain this slowly and carefully. But by the end of it, the prince has got the message and turns to you and says, "I don't think we can. I'm terribly sorry."
I can't give advice, can I? I don't know.
Fortunate. No, you're
Maybe
outside
ask
the
for a little bit of the camp to at least house them if they can't feed them.
No, he's got his turning ground. He doesn't. He was already having space issues.
Yeah.
Now he's built his turning ground, and I'm not going to tell him not to have his fucking turning ground.
I love what a selfish asshole he is, though.
I totally understand. If I was in his position, I'd build a fucking turning ground too.
Talk about the main quest. He was sending us on a ship or something.
No,
Wait,
we'll get to it.
that's advice.
I'll ask about his supply situation. Oh well, if you don't have the armorers, that's not a problem. Do you have anything to spare for them, though? Supplies, for example?
He just looks at you blankly and then turns to his scribe, and the scribe just rolls his eyes and says, "No, my lord, I'm afraid we don't have any spare supplies. The market should serve you perfectly well. They probably sell weapons and armor there as well."
And they rip you off as a
We'll
bone.
have to assassinate the fucking scribe at some point.
I feel bad for this scribe already.
Right, in that case, since we can't get anything out of this bastard,
Well, you just got 500 gold pieces.
Meh.
yeah, I did get 500
It's,
gold peoples in there as well. Well, we'll move on to the main question then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll how do we approach this in a most well, I'll go like, okay. Well, your lordship, I have one last issue to bring up. Now that the crusade is getting into its starting phases, where we're waiting for the last king to finally arrive and join his forces to ours, I find that it is time for myself to find a lord to swear allegiance to gain transportation as we go to the Holy Lands. I believe that I have shown you a modicum of my abilities in the field and on various missions. I would be honored if I could offer you my services.
Are you trying to cuck Baron Monver? Poor Baron Monver sat alone in his tent going, "God, I really hope Arch comes back."
Well, this guy is bigger and badder, and he gave me 500 gold, so we'll give it a go.
Yeah, that's totally true.
So I'll
hold
backstab
on a
this guy
second.
in a heartbeat for Baron Monver.
This is actually important. Apparently, they can't see. They can only see V's avatar.
Oh,
But
right, okay, sorry.
I'm sharing the screen, though.
There we go.
Okay.
Not that there's anything to see. Right, okay, the prince goes, oh, hang on. And he turns to his scribe and has a quick discussion about logistics with his scribe, which is basically him saying, "I'd like to do this," and the scribe going, "This is how we can't do that, sir." And him saying, "You need to make this happen."
Can I look at the scribe and just do like cutting, that cutting gesture across the throat, just like you little.
To be fair, it would be cool if it just gives you money to buy a boat.
The scribe just rolls his eyes. He's not afraid of you. But right after a moment, the prince turns back and says, "Right, so I can take on you as a lord. I can't give you any land, but I can give you a stipend each month, and I can offer you land when we're in the Holy Land. But as I said before you left, I will require you to go and try and find my scouts and explorers as a proof of your valor."
When the fuck did we get this quest?
I keep telling you about it.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it, and then it was delayed with the bear.
Yeah.
I've completely forgot about that. Okay. In that case, I'll give him a deep bow and go, of course, my lord. We'll do. I wouldn't want to put you in a position where I'd ask something of you first, so we'll go deal with that issue first.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything? Well, okay, so he's not going to help us with V. He's not going to help us with supplies. He's not going to help us with weapons.
Maybe he can give us a boat to get.
Well,
to
yeah,
the
I mean, the scribe says there's Captain Albert down at the docks, who's the captain of a small cog that I haven't named. But he's obviously in the employ of the prince. I will make sure that he is aware that in the next sometime in the next week that you'll be arriving, and that he is to take you out to explore towards the west to see where the scouts went.
Okay, so Captain Albert is going to have an accident, and then we have a boat.
Arch, show him
ask if we can take some of our people as well. They can get experience.
It's a cog. It's not that big.
At least like the 10 people you're training or something.
Arch, show him the Ankeg shell, and then tell him the story of how you vanquished the Ankeg, and then be like, "Oh, yeah, you should."
Not on me, but
Well, it's in your inventory.
I guess technically I am lugging this fucking thing around for some reason. How busy, but maybe we could squeeze it in, I guess. I mean, I kind of want to go to Baron
before you do any of that. So you were agreeing that you're going to go and do this for him?
Yeah, we have basically already agreed to that. So
he says, "Fantastic. We'll settle it with a drink." And he pours you an ale and gives you an ale. Pulls himself one and then starts quaffing it.
How adorable!
I think you're expected to drink yourself, Arch.
Yeah, he's probably not going to poison it. We'll drink it.
Okay, make a Constitution check.
It's one ale.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's a really good ale.
A bit harsh.
Not seeing whether you get drunk, just see.
Oh my god.
This is why I try to do as much as I can without fucking rolling, because I know.
You start quaffing it to match him, and you start choking and spluttering, and you cover yourself in beer in front of the prince. But the prince, it's not as bad as you think. The prince just kind of slaps you on the back again after he finishes his, laughs heartily, and says, "Well, it happens to the best of us." And says, "Right, I will see you here once you have fulfilled your quest."
All right, well, we'll fuck off. I have gotten 500 more golds, but I'll give him a deep, respectful bow and says that I'll be back as soon as possible.
He gives you a very warm smile and says, I look forward to it. And then he goes back to see his various knights and people around him and carries on drinking, frankly.
Do we know that Arch has an extra 500?
Not yet.
As a quest reward for things that we helped him with?
No, but you each gain 2,000 experience.
Yay!
Oh, great. That's 11. The level up is at 14, right? 14 something?
I'm trying. Yeah, let me Google that.
11,516 then.
Yeah, it is 14,000.
Mm-hmm. V, I found this thing on hiding your casting. You can cast and people can't notice.
Well, what do I need to do?
Here. And by I found, I mean Ritualist gave it to me.
Mr. Twisted Frenzy says V should still be able to feed his followers. He gets up very early in the morning, goes to the Inquisition camp, requests permission to cast spells on food. Then loads the food in the cart, brings it back to the cult. Simples. There
we go. In order to distract a witness from the casting or to make them think a magical item was used, as a bonus action, a character may attempt a charisma, which is deception, or dexterity, sleight of hand, skill check, with a difficulty equal to 8 plus the level of the spell. And if you succeed that, and the people who watched think that something else happened and you didn't cast a spell.
Was this released in 2015?
Oh, is it too old to use?
I don't know. Is it 5th edition?
Does this take into account?
Yes.
Does this take into account the sudden expulsion of food from one's hands?
It came out of your sleeves.
Well, we'll see about that, Dev, because I've not looked at this or anything. So,
I mean, we might be taking our sorrows in advance. They might let him cast the food. I fucking doubt it, but you know.
I'm curious why they don't bitch at Uzulu, because they said this never happened in their church, but they also had a paladin that can cast spells.
Because Uzulu hasn't done as much.
he doesn't go around summoning angels.
There's an advantage to being an underachiever, V.
Well, it's not like you don't not flaunt it. It's not like you don't like keep it to yourself. It's not like you're modest with it, though you do act modest. You certainly do take advantage of what you have. Why would my character do that? My character doesn't want to build a cult.
Wait until I summon the fucking prophet and I walk to the patriarch with the prophet hand in hand. Like two faggots going after him. It's like, yeah, this guy picked on me.
I guess then you have to learn the difference between institutional loyalty and religious loyalty.
Yeah, but I actually got a spell, like the last level spell. I can summon the prophet into this world.
Let's hope you survive that long.
Yeah, this is probably why Sargon should have looked over these spells before in his low magic setting.
Well, again, I'm not against V doing stuff. There's always going to be a response from the world whenever you do stuff, cause and effect, obviously.
Literally summoning Jesus H. fucking Christ into the world.
The consequences are what the consequences are. But right, are you leaving the camp? Yeah.
Yes.
Is there anything else you need to do? Go to the market, perhaps?
There's no armorers in the market, are there?
There are stalls selling armor, yeah.
I'm tempted to go to Baron Munver and ask the Ankeg armor to be worked into something cool as the Faber, but I have no idea what it creates.
Can you ask him for the favor with the devotee? Because if you do it, then I can say, well, my lord ordered me to, and there's nothing that they can complain.
I think there is something they can complain.
Of what? I say I'm not forbidden from studying under anyone.
I think, haven't you been given a study boss now, though? Didn't they assign you to that Inquisition dude?
Yeah, and I'll say, well, my lord wants me to study under someone else, and it's a devotee. I don't think they'll say no.
I'm not convinced. I mean, we could or ask the Inquisitor, I guess. Go like, hey, dude, what would you say if I told you to fuck off and find another teacher? Slightly more diplomatic.
There is something. Arch, you're having your bear pelts cured. That should be done by now, right?
That was another thing, yes.
Somebody in the market was curing them. We should go pick them up.
I should.
Didn't you have meat as well?
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Okay. You can indeed go and collect your salted bear meat. It's 50 portions. It's a day per portion.
50 portions of salted bear meat. Okay, that's retained only for the proper members of the party, obviously, not for the peasant filth.
Well, it's up to you how you do it, and you have one tanned dire bear hide.
Right, now, are we going to make one set out of it, or are we going to make the sell? Because honestly, we've got money now.
Somebody in the chat says that we're scheduled to go to a feast. Oh, the bear tasting with the prince. Is that still happening?
Yeah, that was another thing.
I think you've been too long. I think he's already done it.
That's a shame.
He said he was gonna wait, though, lying whore.
Yeah, but he's a dick. Frankly.
That is true, so yeah.
So, yeah, you took longer than expected.
We've got money now. I'd like to turn this into just one set of really awesome looking fur armor.
Well, depends what kind, really, doesn't it? Because I mean, like, hide armor isn't exactly great. It's only an armor class 12.
I don't think anyone in the party benefits from anything we can make with it, to be honest.
It was supposed to have all kinds of insulating benefits, though. Wouldn't we are going to a place that's supposedly fucking cold, aren't we?
No, you're going to a desert.
But I thought the southern part was the desert. I'm confused.
No. The further north you go, the hotter it gets because you're below the equator.
That makes sense.
Topsy-turvy, round.
Imagine if you lived in Australia.
No, I'd rather not. Sounds like a bad idea.
Spiders, yeah.
That's fucking dreadful, in fact.
Yeah, but then you get to say noise.
In that case, we'll just make, what was it, 4 cloaks out of it that we can sell?
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, sell, not where?
Do you want one?
We'd look good in them.
I mean, probably, yes.
Well, you could probably find someone to pay to make cloaks out of it.
I think we talked to the dude about that. It's been so fucking long, I don't even remember. But do you remember we talked about having stuff made out of it? It was either 1 set or like 4 cloaks, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I mean, we could keep them if you think they'll look cool. We probably will.
Well, how much does it fetch anyway?
We don't know yet. How much? Okay, since we don't remember, how much would it cost to turn it into a cloak? Well, we'll go find somebody and talk to them about that.
Yeah, I mean, not too much. Probably 10 gold pieces a day's work.
Oh, that's fucking nothing. Does he have any idea what a cloak might fetch?
Depends where you're selling it. Depends if there's high demand for a dire bear cloak.
Well, I know one person who's going to pay a fucking pretty penny for it.
Oh, yeah?
Prince Emmerich.
Possibly.
Well, wouldn't he have his own though? Because he already has he has the second bear, doesn't he?
Well, but I didn't see a cloak on him. And was there any? I should have looked around.
Would it be lordly to try to sell him a cloak though? Like he would probably want it as a gift.
We could offer it, I suppose, but I also think he'd probably pay for it.
I mean, I think it's beneath you to, as a lord, to go around selling shit to people.
I'm poor, nothing's beneath me.
Well, I suppose you have a point, but it's still, like the appearance that you're a lord.
Yeah,
I think he has a cloak. I think he has a cloak from his bear because we killed 2 of them. So,
what about just making it like a rug that you can put in your house, like a decorative rug?
We could just go back to him, I guess, and scout out his stuff. But if he wasn't wearing it, I mean, that seems like a trophy he'd want, doesn't it? Also, I don't think kissing his ass is going to get us anything at this point.
Someone has just sent me a $100 super chat say, V is number 1, Sargon is gay. Is what I'd say if I was V, if V's bribe check cleared.
Oh.
V is number 1 profit. Okay, so what do you do you want to pay this guy to turn it into 4 cloaks or?
He wants 10 gold. Okay, how much would he ask to embroider a coat of arms on them? Doing it nicely, gold thread, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I mean, there's no upper limit. It depends how nice you want it to be. I mean, for 50 gold pieces per cloak, he can turn them into a lovely, trimmed, embroidered thing. For 100, he can turn it into something that would be an impressive gift for a baron. For 500, he can make it into something that a king would be pleased with.
I mean, I think there's possibilities there, honestly. The hides have been cured. They're not going to be spoiling anytime soon. Let's keep it in the back of our minds, because I do think there's some possibility with that.
Yeah, we'll just write down the fact you got a cured or tanned dye bear hide.
Yep, I will. I'll go carrying those around with the fucking ankeg shell.
Okay, is there anything else you want to do at the market?
I want to go to the Inquisition.
We need to pick up way more food now, too, because
Yeah, I actually want to
Great.
talk with the Inquisitors
Fucking
about the
use it.
food. Yeah.
Do you not need weapons and armor for your soldiers?
Yeah, we've got
That's-
food for them.
That's true. We have 3 spears, 11 short bows, 10 daggers, and 12 leather armors. That's it.
There you go. They're fucking overly well equipped, if anything.
They haven't got any arrows.
5 stam, 5 strength, leather belt.
I'm carrying 200 fucking arrows in my pocket. I can give him some.
Isn't that what V's there for?
For what, arrows?
Carrying things.
Yeah, but convenient.
If you actually want to make these guys into a fighting force, you should probably buy some more equipment, yeah.
No, Devo. Bad Devo.
Okay, if you have
Why
if you have 14 fighters and you give 10 of them daggers and 3 of them spears, one of them still doesn't have a weapon.
We've got enough bows for all of them. That's way smarter. Give them fucking bows.
You have 11 bows. That's
There you go,
still not
rest of
enough for
spears.
14
and 0 arrows.
100 arrows.
Just buy some arrows because they're cheap. Buy 100 arrows.
It's simple. We with the spears will guard the ones with the bows. Happy.
Well, I
Yes,
mean,
these are level
there
1
are
fighters.
plenty of stores that do sell armor and weapons.
Yes,
And
they have leather armor.
Oh my god, is this another shopping adventure?
11 pieces of leather armor, was that it?
12 pieces. We need 2 more.
12 pieces. Okay, well, the archers don't need armor. They get into close quarters combat, that's their fault. I don't want to spend any money on equipping them yet. Not until they're actually worth something.
Okay. Do you want to get more food? I only have 5 days worth of rations and regular spices.
Well, you have half that now because we can't feed them, so we've got 3 days.
Okay.
So we'll do that for now. We'll go get rations afterwards, but first we'll have V talk to the Inquisition and see if we get lucky. I fucking doubt it, but
well,
Nope.
it's going to cost you the rations are 3 copper per person per day from this market. So it's going to cost you 243 copper pieces per day.
fucking robbery, basically. So let's see if we can have V create them food first.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Is there anything else you want to do at the market?
Not really, no.
Right, okay. Where are you going to go?
I would love to go like, okay, I want better weapons and armor, but since there basically are no equipment in this edition, I've already got a rapier. I'm not going
Well,
to get
there is. I
anything
mean,
better.
you could go and find like a master crafted one or something like that. You know.
Usually,
guess.
usually the gold sink in this game is on potions and stuff like that, which you don't have.
Oh
so.
yeah. But
Or regions, which you also don't
I'll
have.
put in sort of custom made armor and weapons.
I didn't know there was an option for Mastercraft. That sounds like something I could go for.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do investigation rolls.
Oh my god, not.
Shopping.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
God damn it.
Okay, Uzlu, what exactly are you looking for?
The best glaive in the land, or at least something affordable with a similar title to that.
Okay, hang on a sec.
Look for me too, since I failed.
I don't think I can.
Look for a really good quarterstaff, a better quarterstaff than the one that I have.
How do you get better than a plank of wood?
Well,
Like a fucking stick.
You find a mastercrafted flail.
See that isn't quite what I was looking for.
1d8 bludgeoning damage. Why is the flail shit in this one?
Uh,
God.
well, Uzulu, your 18 is rewarded by a flat downgrade.
It's
Yay.
one-handed.
Yeah, I
Enjoy.
don't use one-handed weapon. I almost couldn't think of anything that would less well match my description.
Look, he's built his entire character around being an overpowered two-handed weapon user, and you're like, here, have this flail.
Look, it's not my choice. I'm rolling a dice to see what's available.
But it was your choice to use that method to determine what shit
Oh,
was
I see. Yeah.
gonna arrive with me.
Now it's my fault that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's yoink the dick out of Hoozloo's ass, and then I'll go looking as well, I guess. Let's see if I can find some kind of really good light armor or rapier, I guess. Because my rolls are good.
Okay, let's see if you find anything. You find a mastercrafted great axe.
Oh, fucking fantastic!
Yeah,
Just what I've always wanted.
300 gold pieces.
I look
about
over at Uzzalo and go like, well, at least this is a two-handed weapon.
Yeah, I feel like we found a weapon that would be slightly better for the other, but still crap for both.
I mean, to be fair, a great axe
D12
wouldn't be
slashing.
the worst option for it. I mean, your tunnel fighter is fucked, but
I don't think I'm going to get much better than what I've got now unless I get plate armor, splint armor, or some master-crafted weapon, glaive specifically, or some other similar. Because the weapons are identical in this game, several of them. The halberd,
Yeah.
glaive, and what is it? The pike, I think, which is heavier, but otherwise identical. So yeah, I don't think there's much shopping that I can do other than that.
Well,
I found a weapon. Could I roll for
plate
armor?
Plate armor costs 3 grand.
Yeah, which I don't have.
Could I do a separate roll for armor?
Well, I mean, you can find just regular armor.
We'll be looking for a really nice. What is it? The cuirass? The only chestplate one, I think.
Yeah, a breastplate. Yeah. Yeah, you can. I mean, you can. There are breastplates around. They're not difficult to find. But if you wanted to find like a master crafted one,
Yeah, it'd have to. I'll look for a cuirass, chainmail, something fancy armor that's light.
okay, go ahead.
Yay! 13 is my lucky number.
Yeah.
There is one kind of armor I can get that's better than mine. That's not plate.
You find a suit of very well made brass ring mail.
Brass ringmail.
Ringmail's heavy armor.
Yeah,
What is Mastercrafted does? It gives you
it
like
is
plus
heavy
one.
armor. It's got an armor class of 15 rather than the usual 14, and it costs 600 gold pieces.
Does it allow me to add my dexterity?
No.
Big fat no, then.
What is Mastercrafted? Is it that like plus
Just-
one?
Yeah, yeah, it depends on the item, but yeah.
Like if I want to get a crossbow,
this one happens to give you a +1 armor class,
and if I get a crossbow, can I get one that does more damage?
possibly.
All right, I'll do an investigation check for plus more damage. But to be fair, it's kind of bad to make everyone make investigation checks because not everyone has advantage.
Too bad.
There you go.
You don't find a master crafted crossbow.
Can I just find a regular splint mail
Yeah.
shirt? Does that require investigation roll?
No, you can just go to an armorer.
I mean, can it not be like we just spend time walking around the market?
That's what the investigation roll is, Fee.
Ugh.
It's 400 gold pieces for a splint.
Splint. All right, it's 17, so it's better, but that's not quite most of my money, but a lot of it. What do you reckon, Arch, the expert? Is one more armor class worth all that money?
I really wouldn't say so.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, he doesn't have a shield or anything. So
I have a shield, I just don't use it. But yeah,
I mean, to be fair, if an extra armor class means you don't take any of the damage. So if it's a hit that gives you 30 damage, and that armor class just manages to block it.
yeah, but the chances of that being effective is fairly low.
Depends, I guess.
Is there a mastercrafted chainmail?
you'd have to roll for that.
I'll roll for it then. Shit.
Shouldn't we like roll
No.
for?
Do they sell half plate?
Yes.
Okay, I mean that is potential because that would be a upgrade of +2 to my armor class, which would put me into 20 with the shields, which would be nice.
It's 1,500 gold.
So I can ups the price like the Jew.
Yeah, it's not my market. You could also pay money to get your heraldry engraved in it.
Yeah, no, I can't afford the fucking basic armor. Yeah, no, that's too much money.
Maybe if we didn't have an army to feed.
Oh, speaking of that, we should go back to the camp and see what all the guys brought home.
Good call.
Yeah, there's not a. I guess I'll have one more investigation roll for a good longbow on the off fucking chance I roll decently.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. Let's see what you get.
Chat recommends we sell the army into slavery.
Possible.
Difficult to argue with.
Hmm.
No, you find a particularly well-made net.
This is just the least useful thing after the other, isn't it?
Someone makes some art of this. We just ask something, and Tonga gives us something completely different.
No. It's made out of silk, and
that's very nice. Very nice.
Well, you think that's silly, but instead of having a range of 515, it's got a range of 1030.
Ah, it's bloody amazing. It's still useless to me. I just look up at the fucking dude hawking this shit to me and go like, longbow.
What does it cost?
Yeah, but 10 gold pieces.
That's not bad, actually.
I look at him as if he just offered to rape my mother. That's 10 times than its normal price.
I love the way Dev's like,
No, that's actually not bad. Nets are pretty useful in D&D.
Dev, that is 10 times the regular price.
So does this system of random market availability generation that you're using imply that there are no glaives, no longbows, no whatever else we've looked for?
no, there are loads. You can get a glaive or a longbow if you want, but if you want to find one that is a weapon, piece of weapon or armor is particularly well made, then you have to spend some time trying to find it. And the only things you've found so far are not the things you want.
How much a shield adds to the AC of a class?
2.
Okay, I'll get a shield and a rapier then.
Okay, it's 20 gold pieces, and a rapier is 50 gold pieces.
So 17 total.
Yep.
That's quite a lot.
All right.
Give me the stats, please.
A rapier does 1d8 piercing damage, and it's got finesse. A shield just gives you +2 armor class.
Right.
I mean, I guess I'd just grab the tail of the copycat V and go home.
So hold on again. How much? 1d8, yeah?
Yeah, 1d8.
Okay.
Okay. Right, okay. Well, if there's anything else you need.
Inquisitors, then camp.
Yeah. Oh, no. This is a useful. Okay, let's just drag this out just a moment longer as I go looking for a fancy-looking whip.
Okay.
Just be forewarned, if he asks 750 gold for the whip, I'm paying.
Yeah, that's it. No, you. The only thing you can find is that same masterwork great axe.
I come back to the great axe, I look at it and go like, no, it's still not a whip. How odd.
It's the only masterwork weaponry we've got in this stall, I'm afraid.
I'm going to try to find the masterwork shield and then we're leaving.
I'm
Can I have
halfway
a
tempted to
Yes, you can have a great axe.
do a quick sleight of hand on something just for
You don't find one, V.
Okay. Right, let's go because otherwise we're going to be trapped in this temporal flux, which is the market.
Can I persuade the shop owner that the axe is actually a whip?
I mean, with enough smooth talking, sure, but you can't persuade reality that the axe is in fact a whip.
Tell that to the far left.
Maybe you can roll a persuasion on the axe to make it identify as a whip.
Yeah,
Social
maybe
constructivism gone wild.
Hey, V, you had that spell that let us talk to fucking bears. Could you talk this thing into being narrower and flexible?
I think if you're like a cleric, I think it's city cleric or some shit like that, and you can definitely talk to objects.
Good. Just like, are you a whip? Axe.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so I'm heading off to the Inquisition.
Okay. Is anyone else going with you?
Wait, V, aren't you having fun? Let's go look for another fucking weapon.
I'm going to head back to the camp.
I'm
to
going to
our
roll
camp.
for investigation on some masterwork rations.
You can do that, I suppose.
Can I? Really? Wow.
Why not? Particularly good trail rations?
Is it actually anything that might be useful to
Not really.
have a look for?
They're
Well,
just going to taste really nice and cost twice as much.
yeah, I'm looking through my other shit. Masterwork tent, masterwork bedroll. I don't know. Can I get a key made for that empty chest?
What empty chest?
The empty chest, the key for which Dev gave to a peasant.
Did you
Did we
take
just
the empty
fucking
chest?
leave that thing?
Yeah, I took the chest
Why?
Yeah, you took it. I remember that. Yeah.
because we might have got the key back.
I mean, you could pay someone to make a key, but it's not a quick process.
Yeah, and I've just realized it's useless. Why not
I
just
think
double
they
check?
they hold on. They actually can. Like they use
I
wax.
just realized it's useless. Yeah, I
No,
know.
hold on. Uzzle. They use wax. They can, get the imprint of a key, and then they can make a key for your chest. So
Look, I'm realizing most of the reason I have this is because Dev was obsessing over it.
You
And
can just sell the chest though. It's probably worth. It's a locked chest. It's probably worth something.
No, it's
Unlocked.
not. It's unlocked and there's no key.
it's actually not as you think. Like all these objects, they were made by hand, so it was difficult to make a chest.
We could instead of selling it as here's a chest without a key, we could sell it as here's a rare antique that you can store jewelry in. Yeah.
I'm going to the Inquisition.
Right, okay. What are the rest of you doing while V does that?
I'll go back to our camp.
Okay.
I'm gonna look for a masterwork fucking bell.
God damn it!
Get a masterwork bath.
Oh, good idea.
Master of bathtub to replace the.
Okay, while you guys are looking for masterwork versions of things that have no tangible benefit, V, you arrive at the Inquisition camp. They let
Can we
you
get a masterwork V?
I asked to talk with the Inquisitor.
That's literally what everyone's been asking. Yeah, the Inquisitor Hort and Inquisitor Bright are there.
My lord, your holiness, my lord Arch has sent me to talk about logistics. Up until now, I used to.
How I get the blame for all of this?
Up until now, I used to feed the men by asking the prophet for help. However, due to the interdiction that I have on casting miracles, I was wondering if it's possible. I would ask the prophet for food to be created here, and then have some of Arch's men deliver it to the camp, and no one can. It would look as if the Inquisition is actually feeding the people without
roll. Let's see what they say.
without divine intervention.
I'll fuck this up, mate.
It actually makes it look good for them. So
Perfectly respectful question. Oh, you are such a lucky motherfucker.
it's not luck. It's charisma cleric. I put all my points in charisma. Jesus.
No, V. Look at that roll. Your rolls in this campaign have been godlike. Every time you've done something dumb, you've rolled a 20.
It's actually a 16, but it's +4.
Yeah, I know that's one. Yeah, but
It's also
Still alone
performance.
is incredible.
it's still one above what I rolled. So Inquisitor Hort just turns to you and looks down his nose and goes, "No." However, Inquisitor Bright leans over and says, "Come on, not an unreasonable thing for him to do. He's not going to, he will tell. I'm sure that he will tell them that the food has come from the Inquisition, and that this is because of our good graces, and that we care about the poor and the destitute." And Inquisitor Hort rolls his eyes and says, "Fine."
Bit of fake out. I was about to say, like, and the dick descends from above.
Yeah, and there's one more matter. Lord Arch was talking to Baron Monvo, and he suggested to me if I would like to study under the devotee of Baron Monvo. However, I told Lord Arch that I need to ask permission from the Inquisition before I would agree to something like that.
Lord Arch remembers none of this. He must be getting senile.
Yeah, he must. I mean, do you want to roll? Or are you just asking?
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Okay, yeah. Inquisitor
Oh,
Bright.
I'll roll. I'll say, in case Lord Arch arranges this to happen and Varamonvo agrees, would I be able to study under devotee? You know, I'm pretty sure he knows the name of the guy.
Roll of persuasion. Jesus Christ!
Like I said,
Right. Well, I'm not even sure if I should have allowed you to roll that one though, because ultimately this the two of them just snort, and it's absolutely not. No member of the Inquisition can work with devotee Amal.
I look bewildered, as if I don't understand why not, but I trust the wisdom of the Inquisitor. Though, however, I understand I'm not a member of the Inquisition.
No, you are not, and I don't think you should push your luck any further. You can arrive here at daybreak every day, and you can create food in the tent that is provided for you, and we will take it to your camp, and it will be a gift from us.
yay. Take it and fucking leave, V. Stop digging.
Yeah. May I suggest on the package you have the sign of the Inquisition so the people know where the food is coming from?
Well,
the symbol, I mean.
They're the ones delivering it.
All right.
So, but yeah, you can do that every morning.
I also informed them that we're going to be leaving on a quest on the sea on behalf of Prince Emmerich.
How will you be feeding your men every day then?
I'm pretty sure Prince Emmerich might arrange for supply.
You're pretty incorrect there.
The Inquisitor Hort just shrugs. He doesn't care.
Yeah. No, I'm the ward. I need to inform them of my activities. So I'll be off.
Okay, they dismiss you.
Starting to not like these people, but I think they like me more.
This is what happens when you put yourself in the power of meddling busybodies. But yeah, okay, they dismiss you. You can go.
I think we need to open another demonic book, create another problem that we can fix, and then we can ask payment before we fix it.
Avi, you really are becoming a religious leader.
I really do enjoy the fact that when you open a demonic book and summon Satan Jr., these people are like, misdemeanor. Now, they're like, oh, we're going to fuck you in every hole.
Yeah, but Arch, one of these things undermines the integrity of the church, and the other doesn't.
One of them just ends up with a bunch of peasants dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Demon perhaps undermines the church.
If anything, it unifies the church when V opens a portal to hell.
See,
V comes along like, I'm the prophet. By the way, everyone needs to do what I say. Oof.
See, Arch, I'm thinking we open another book, and then when the Inquisition comes up, by the way, there's a demon, you need to fix it. I'll be like, oh, I don't know. I'm not allowed to cast spells. I mean, see, I don't want to upset the patriarch. I mean, he said my soul will rest in heaven if I die faster. So why should I?
Don't get me wrong. I'm warming to the idea of demon summoning.
Are you leaving or what?
Yeah.
Why not give us one that can actually fight next time?
I am leaving. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I take it the rest of you are back at the camp.
Yeah. I assume that we all arrived before V, obviously.
Yeah.
So what did our chums get today from the camp?
As the day starts drawing to a close, and I presume you're preparing the evening meal, but you've already taken the food, so don't worry about it. The peasants start coming back in. They present you with 16, not in various copper and silver. They present you with 16 silver pieces and 50 copper pieces.
We're
There
rich.
we go. There we go. What did they do for it? Can I ask them?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's 60 of them, so there's 64 of them, 66 of them. So they've got various. Some people are just cleaning out bedpans, and fitting. Like one of them was making arrows all day. It's like tying arrowheads to arrows shafts and things. Just menial jobs that anyone can come along and do and get paid for the day's labor.
All right,
Arch, you might attract more people with honey. Like if you let them keep them and they notice you're not taxing, they might actually get more people to join us.
See,
I'm just saying.
do you really want more people?
Yeah, because we're going to leave, and once we
Yes.
leave, we're not going to be under the close eye of the Inquisition. Like, if you're in a savage land, they'll be more worried about killing the savages rather than policing their own.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
Then.
Now you have a guy who knows how to make arrows. That's true.
Oh my God, derp.
No. Now you have a guy who knows how to tie arrowheads onto sticks.
Yeah, and then you need to find the guy that knows how to chop the wood.
Yeah, but that's not skilled labor.
Well, it's one step in the right direction. We can get there.
It's medieval times, Saga. There aren't that many skilled laborers.
There are loads. What?
Oh, now he's going to talk about the guilds and
making butter is skilled labor, right?
It's going to go on about the guilds and he's going to go on about the apprenticeship.
I'm going to go on about the inevitable need for skilled labor that occurs in almost every walk of life. It's just that you don't have people with skills; you've got plebs.
All right, I'm going to go to the guy who has spent a day tying arrowheads to arrows and say, "Listen, you keep practicing that craft, and one day you can be a skilled arrow maker."
He just puts his hands together and bows and says, "I thank you for your belief in me.
Thank you, fat man. When will you teach me how to forge arrowheads?
I hope I'll make the prophet proud."
Well, there we go. See, eventually he'll be an arrow maker for us. So we can have like a village set up here, all providing us with stuff that we need.
I asked my people to gather around. I'll.
They do.
I told them that
they look at you with beaming faces. They're deeply expectant of your word.
I can almost see the flickering flames of a bonfire in those expectant stares.
Honestly, yes, but carry on.
I told them I went and I spoke with the patriarch today.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the false prophet?
Yeah, I looked to see if they're in awe on the fact that I spoke with the patriarch himself.
But yeah, they're all just listening. Go on.
And I told them the patriarch has instructed me to tell you people that you should stop referring to me as a prophet. I am just a vessel through which the Lord works.
Okay.
And that they should stop talking about my miracles because it can risk people not interpreting correctly and destabilizing the faith in the church.
Yep. Someone from the back shouts out, How can we keep silent about such glorious wonders that we have seen?
Think about the pyre that the Inquisition makes. You remember last week when that witch was burned, right? That's how you keep silent. Once we get to the Holy Land, you can keep talking. Any other questions?
I am so conflicted on this. Half of me wants to sabotage.
There's just a general consensus of yes, O prophet.
Yeah. What did they talk about calling me the prophet? Okay, are we in the Holy Land yet, Brother Mark? Do you see sand underneath your feet? No. That is Brother V.
They all say yes, Brother V.
Thank you. Oh my God, we have order. Now let us pray.
Have love be prayer.
Do you want to lead them in prayer?
Yeah, I'll hold the ceremony myself. What is that?
You can just give them a sermon.
It's
hold a prayer and some singing.
Performance, I guess.
Yeah.
Could be better.
Yeah, it's a bit lackluster.
It's a bit lackluster. Yeah, after I told them this, they don't have the spirit.
I liked his early work better. Just essence.
Basically, yes. But right, okay, so we'll end it there then. I think I'm around next week, which is good. And I think I've addressed the super chats, but I'm just going to check before I go. But yeah, I mean, your options are to go exploring west or train your troops. And you're going to have to figure out how to pay for them. How to feed them while you're not there. Or perhaps transport them with you, I don't know. But,
I think it's a good idea to transport them with us because they're fun and you can get them to do menial shit.
How much money do you think it's going to cost?
They can provide a certain amount of money towards their own food while we're gone, and we can leave them with a decent stockpile.
Didn't we get like 500 gold from Emmerich?
No, we didn't. And we can probably bring the 14 I'm training, hopefully. We'll see.
Well, for example, Yeah, they earned 16 silver for 50 copper today. That's more than enough to buy just basic rations for themselves. They can be self-sufficient while we're gone.
They're not going to
long
want
can they
basic
survive
ration,
on
though.
basic rations.
Yeah,
They're
we're
probably gonna
going.
end up with scurvy.
Well, we'll give them basic rations for a general week, but we'll also have to leave a certain bit of money for a bit of fancy stuff occasionally.
Yeah.
I don't have
Well-
high hopes for them surviving psychologically on their own, let alone in terms of their stomachs.
These guys were refugees. Compared to that existence, this has got to be literally heaven.
Yeah, but
Oh wait.
They do seem quite happy.
Yeah.
Scurvy. That would
The
mean
moment-
we need to buy lemon juice now.
Well, it was just
you
an
wouldn't know
example.
that in the universe.
They might get rickets or something. I don't fucking know.
The moment one of these people has some sort of inclination towards greater power for themselves rather than just greater power for the group, which could happen at any moment, especially if their prophet, quote unquote, is not with them, it's all going to go horribly wrong.
Yeah, the moment one of them speaks for me, that's going to be the problem.
Well, that too. But I think leaving them alone might be a terrible idea if you intend to keep them, but it's not really my problem, to be honest.
So
We
I've
can-
got some super chats here. V, if you start casting spells in front of NPCs who don't know how to keep their mouth shut, your head will be on the chopping block next time you see the Inquisition. Just saying, less people you indoctrinate at this point, the better.
Well, it's also about who's going to believe the NPC. Like if it's a peasant, or if they go and actually talk, because there might be people who they would spread rumors. It's not like 2018 where they posted on Twitter with a snapshot attached.
Yeah. It's true. Guys, if the party had a free-for-all death battle right now, who would win? Let the arguments begin. My money is on the monk, my martial arts bias. Who do you think would win?
I think the monk is
Monks
quite
is
open.
are hilariously OP.
Uzlus
I mean-
is hilariously OP, though.
Yeah, Uzlu's pretty OP.
Yeah, but the thing with Uzulu is that he can actually kill one person. But then,
Uzlu's prey abilities against relatively low HP stuff.
he
Yeah.
does a lot of burst damage, but then he's not going to be able to do more.
I mean, I could probably kill V or Arch in one turn.
You know, I have a spell
Oh,
that
so
I
you're
have to
just
get
gonna
past
take
my
that?
armor class first.
you know that I have a spell that does 4 d10s plus sanctuary on myself, so you need to pass a wisdom check before attacking me.
I knew, but I know that, but I can also use. Let me find it here. Let me just find it here. Shit.
If I roll successfully, I can probably do about 40 damage in a turn.
I can use stunning strike, which will make you skip a turn, and I could probably just unload and destroy you if you can't actually fight back.
Yeah, it's I'm not
The
very good
only
for
one I'm
combat
actually
damage.
worried about is V, because in this edition, Magic just has no dice roll. It's just you do it. It's so OP. It's hilarious. The rest of you, I'd say I've got a decent chance because you actually got to hit me.
Well, you
Yeah.
do actually get to pass against the difficulty of the spell. You
Yeah, but
actually
it's
get, like,
willpower.
you get your own saving throw, basically.
We
which
don't
is
just have to
kind
hit you, though, Arch. You have to get in range of me.
He's got a bow.
Yeah, I can shoot you if you want to do a range battle.
Just going to stand in the back and shoot me, are you?
Yes,
All right,
you're going to be like, I'm going to tunnel fight. Okay, twang.
You know, I've got the spell that makes my attack pretty much certain to hit. It's the one I used against the demon. You know what I did, like 38 damage in one
Yeah, but
turn?
if you're not in range, what good is it?
Well, if Arch is going to be over there twanging at me, I'm going to get in range.
Right.
Well,
Okay,
it's
let's
fairly hard damage as well.
move on to the next one before we have to have a battle royale.
By the way, I'm thinking like after we do the sea adventure, we can come back, go back to that town and take more people. We can just say that we're housing, feeding them. Like sell it off more like a professional thing rather than a religious cult.
I mean, go to Dorwin and do that.
Yeah, and get more.
Probably not.
Come on, let's do the People Crusade Arch.
Right.
No,
okay,
because
the
you keep
next
dragging
one.
me into this. If you get yourself killed on your time and just take all the responsibility, then we can look into it.
Arch, pick 2 of the 14 trained soldiers who are the strongest and most loyal to you, arm them, and knight them as your personal guard.
Yeah, I probably will. But I
I
need
don't
them to
think a
actually...
knight can actually knight other knights. You can have them as men at arms.
I can make them squires.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, to be fair, you can make up your own title now, considering you're going to go to a new land.
No, they'll be
No,
squires.
I'm not a lord yet because I haven't accepted the Prince Emmerich's proposal yet.
Yeah, but when we do, then you can knight them.
Yes.
No,
definitely.
even then, he'll still just be a knight.
No, he was offering me a lordship.
No, he was offering you a fief. Oh, what, Baron Monva? Sorry.
No, the prince.
No, he's offering you fealty, but you'll still be a knight.
You can negotiate it with him.
Didn't he? Did I hear wrong?
No, he
Do
did
I
say
remember,
lordship.
or do I misremember?
Yeah, you did say lordship. You said he can't have any land. He might get land when you do the crusade, and
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but what I mean is he's offering you a fief and fealty. You'll still be a knight. But I mean, it's not to say you can't get promoted.
I think it was the opposite though,
No,
because he wasn't offering me lands.
yeah, I know. No, I know he's not offering you lands here. He can offer you lands in the end of the crusade. But
you can negotiate with him, I guess.
Well, you can impress him and work your way up the ranks, I'm sure. So not related to the game, but can you cover what NYC just did to Lyft and Uber with minimum wage, Sargon? Prices will surely increase. Drudge and Zero Hedge have covered it. I don't know what they've done, but have they targeted? I mean, is this just a general minimum wage increase, or is it targeted? What? You can convert people in charge, not the peasants. That's a good idea. As if, I mean, V, what do you reckon your chances of converting Prince Emmerich could be?
I don't think he cares about religion, and he seems quite afraid of the Inquisition. Like, if I casted miracles next to him and he didn't really give a shit, very low.
V, convert Stavron.
The only way I could convince Prince Emmerich is if I would get a lot of time with him and a lot of discussion, and like I would sell off how in the afterlife he goes to some sort of Valhalla where he will just keep fighting and it will be very warrior-like. I think that's something that he would like to hear. I could sell him off on that.
I'd do so very quietly in that case.
Mm-hmm.
If you get spare time to kill, then go back and explore the crypts from episode 3 some more. You might find more valuables towards the army fund. You probably have an easier time killing the Ankegs now as well.
I was actually thinking about that because, Arch, you may need more Ankeg shells to build something useful.
I'm never going to get this thing fucking done. And even then, Sargon's going to be like, yeah, it's a shield.
But if we have 3 shells instead of 1...
It's a creepy shield, though.
It'll be a
Do we
large
get
shield.
do we get any XP for this, by the way, for setting up the camp and, dealing with the
You
Inquisition?
got 2,000 XP.
Yeah, we got 2,000 earlier.
Oh, all right.
We
Yeah, I
should be
forgot
at 11,516.
3,000 more and we level up.
Yep.
To those in chat earlier who were saying that they want a battle royale, don't worry. I think that's inevitably how this series is going to end. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And I would win. Yes, chat, you're right.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Okay, here's the best question. If Alex Jones was a D&D character, which class and alignment would he be?
Rogue.
Chaotic, obviously.
Undoubtedly.
Chaotic neutral.
What are you talking about? Alex Jones is lawful good. He's the beacon of truth and hope in the kingdom. Paladin for sure.
Definitely chaotic neutral. But I could go for a chaotic neutral paladin.
Sure.
Right, okay, chats. Right, I'm going to end the stream, but thank you for following and watching and stuff. We'll see you next week.